Yeah. Yeah. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego. And I'm back with some more boxing. We working. We working. Yeah. Please believe it. We back. Believe it, please. We're about to talk a little of this boxing stuff. Something light. Might burn a couple people in the hot seat. Yeah, no. You know how we do. Yeah, Bay Area. What it do? Ego Army. What it do? The Mafia. The mob, man. We working. What up, y'all? Just want to talk some boxing. Something light. I'll probably have to burn some people in the hot seat, though. Y'all know how that goes. We'll wait for y'all to join. We working. Yeah, Ricky Rick, what's up? Shout out to my moderators. DC up in this thing. Nah, I don't really bet, you know what I'm saying? I don't live in Las Vegas unless I know the people personally. That's sometimes I do personal bets. I learned my lesson in the Jacobs Luis Cuba Adias fight. I'm not betting y'all motherfuckers on these live streams because I still to this day ain't seen that dude that swore up and down he wanted to bet $40 on Luis Adias to beat Jacobs. I think he even said by knockout. And then when Luis Adias not only loses every single round out of 12, then all of a sudden he never comes back. It's a shame. I have integrity, man. Like, I'm a man. I have integrity when it comes to, like, if I bet somebody, I mean, it's $40. I would just pay him. But some of y'all don't have no type of couth or code. You'll make bets that you know you ain't willing to pay. And then be doing all this bumping of the gums. Crazy, man. Yeah, he got skunked. Ali Diego, what's good? What's happening, man? Oh, we're gonna talk about this Joshua stuff. I'm trying to wait till we get hopefully triple digits in the building, because I don't like to keep repeating the same things over and over. And like, oh, hey, what? Because sometimes I'll title the video and people come late and they'll be like, hey, did you talk about this? I'm like, yeah, that's the first thing we talked about. My thoughts on Oscar De La Hoya's response to Floyd, to me, is kind of petty, kind of corny. That's just my honest opinion. Because, like I said, I'm a person of character, virtue, integrity, and realistically, Floyd allowed Oscar and Bernard Hopkins to heavily hate on his fight, and he said nothing about it. He said nothing. When Bernard Hopkins was on the Breakfast Club, and he was like, Mayweather, he's not his own boss. He got people pulling the... Who cares? Mayweather makes money. You know what I mean? That's hate. What Bernard Hopkins was doing on the Breakfast Club was hating. Floyd got more money than B-Hop. Floyd got more money than Oscar De La Hoya. And you talking about Floyd has a team of people and Al Heyman that are really putting it together. Well, that's a smart move on Floyd's behalf. If you don't know how to do it, get with Al Heyman, who's put on concerts and stuff, knows the business, and assemble the right team. You know what I mean? But to try to make it like Floyd ain't eating, that just sounds crazy. Floyd he gets money. That's why they call him Money Made. That motherfucker's in Macau, China right now, and been in Hong Kong and shit. So I just think that Oscar, his response was lame and petty. Like, see, where I'm from, we used to play the dozens, where we roast each other. You know what I mean? It would be like rap battles, but we call it sigging. In the Bay Area, we call it sigging, where you diss somebody like, that's why your jeans look like this or your shoes, and you just start ripping them and start roasting them. And some people are good at it naturally and some people aren't. To me, De La Hoya is not good at that. And that's why throughout his career, De La Hoya was never a big trash talker. Ricardo Mayorga was, and he was talking hella shit about De La Hoya. He was like, oh, he's like doing all these obscene gestures and saying De La Hoya like to play with Barbies and shit. You know what I mean? Mayweather was talking hella shit to De La Hoya when they fought. Oscar, that's never been his lane. And it shows because like Conor McGregor's good at it. That's a person, if we're talking about like, Conor's witty, Conor could come up with some funny shit, but that's not really Oscar, that's not really his MO. So to me, his diss was super cliche. Oh, you beat your wife, you know what I mean? That's so Ruben Guerrero. Like, Ruben Guerrero did that in like 2014 or something. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it was lame, and realistically, in my opinion, I know a lot of people get mad, but I don't give a fuck. My opinion, Oscar brought this on himself by being a known hypocrite with the stuff he was saying. Had he not bashed and told people to boycott and that Mayweather McGregor was ruining boxing, then later, for whatever reason, came out and said he'll fight Conor McGregor out of retirement, whether you're doing it for publicity, that makes you look bad. That makes you look terrible. I mean, okay, put it this way. What if I was ragging on Oscar De La Hoya for wearing fishnets, and then pictures leak of my big ass, and I'm wearing fishnets, and I'm like, you know what I mean, posed all crazy. Y'all would be like, this motherfucker, he was just doing videos talking shit about Oscar wearing the fishnets, and now they got his big ass in the fishnet, which that won't happen. You'll never, there ain't nobody got no pictures of me like that. I know for a fact. But what would you guys, like, honestly, separate all feelings and who you like as a fighter and all that, separate all that bullshit and tell me that you honestly, people wouldn't give me hell for ragging on Oscar for wearing fishnets, and then I'm in Victoria's Secret's finest taking pictures. Y'all would be like, this ego's a fucking clown, and I would get bashed, I would get harassed, people would be posting the pictures, trying to make me, you know what I'm saying, make me look horrible. But once again, my shit, y'all can check my track record. I ain't got nothing on my rap sheet. I ain't on Megan's Law, and nobody got no pictures of me like that. So, you know what I mean? I'm just using the example. But that hypocrisy, that's like that Donald Trump shit. Donald Trump be doing that. And then when the heat gets on Donald Trump, he bring up, oh, but Hillary, she lied to the FBI too. We talking about Flynn, and we talking about you on Access Hollywood. We ain't talking about Hillary and Bill Clinton. I just want the people to know I did not have sex relations with that woman. We're not talking about the Clintons. We talking about you. So, I mean, to me, Oscar bought this on himself because that was mad hypocritical. Mad hypocritical. Like I said, if I was making fun of De La Hoya in several videos for wearing fishnets and then pictures leaked of me doing the same shit, what would y'all say about me? You'd be like, this motherfucker, a hypocrite. I mean, that's all you can say. I mean, and to go through the lengths that B-Hop and De La Hoya went through to bash the Mayweather-McGregor fight, like, oh, it's a circus. We know the outcome. It's bullshit. It's ruining boxing. Protested, boycott. That's lame. And then motherfuckers, apologists, see, I keep it real, and ain't shit changing. I'm not gonna stop keeping it real. This what got me this far, so let's keep this shit going. And I don't care who's mad. Like I said, I'm the Bernie Mac of this. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Like, I'm gonna say what you thinking, but you too scared to say, or other people. It's hypocritical. Hypocritical is hypocritical is hypocritical. Point blank, period. It was a circus, it was a joke. You are a circus and you a joke. Because once again, we knew what the fight was gonna be. Black chain. And at the end of the day, if it was such a circus, and so why would you do the same thing? Why would you offer to fight Conor McGregor if it was so bad? You know what I'm saying? It's hypocritical. Y'all can make all the excuses you want. I look at it like this. The game, man, I hate today's music, all that mumble rap. I hate all that. I hate how sensitive this society's becoming. People don't want to call shit fair anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's sickening. It really is. Bottom line is this. Mayweather-McGregor was sports entertainment. Either you're going to watch it or you didn't watch it. Either you were going to buy it or you were going to stream it or not watch it. Simple. Simple. You know what I mean? There's no need for dialogue. There's no need. If Canelo Triple G is more your cup of tea, I went to both. I was in Vegas for both. I covered both as media. Because you know what I mean? Y'all could do all that dumb shit. Oh, if you're a real fan, you would support the real fight, Canelo Triple G. Well, guess what? I am a real fan with a verified boxing account, and I went to both. And I went to Crawford and Dongo and Broner Garcia and a slew of other fights. You know what I'm saying? So don't miss me with that if you're a real fan. If you weren't a fucking broke vagrant, then you would probably be able to order both too. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, either you were gonna watch it or you weren't, period. You know what I mean? There's no need for, that's how you know when people have a fear. Because like I said, either you're gonna watch it or not. You don't have to tell your mama and them to not get it. Either you were gonna watch it or you weren't. You know what I mean? You don't have to write essays and plead and beg people. That's hate. Who does that? I've had people do that to my channel. Oh, fuck Boxingego, he's biased. Don't watch him. You think that's gonna stop people from watching me if they want to watch me? Shout out to my supporters. Shout out to Ego Army, the mob, Money on Top of Boxing, Ego Mafia. Somebody outright hating, that's not gonna stop people. If people like the content, if they like the delivery, whatever, they're gonna watch it. So just let people, just like this new music. I don't go to high schools and tell people what to listen to. I don't like this shit. This Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci. I don't like that. But you know what I mean? I just bump what I do like in my own headphones. Let's do a roll call, man. And we need to get the likes up because we got triple digits in this motherfucker, but we don't even have 50 likes. How's that happen? Y'all gotta help me out. Boxingego. When I do the live streams, like I said, it takes away from a lot of other stuff that I gotta do. So to make the streams longer and more of a continual thing, y'all gotta help me with the likes. But let's do the Boxingego roll call. I just like to see where y'all at, where y'all from, where y'all at. Let's go. Roll call. San Jose in the building. Maryland in the building. Naples, Florida. Las Vegas. Philly. What up, Ock? San Diego. New Zealand. Vegas. Omaha. 504. Indiana. New York. Greensboro. San Antonio. Jersey. Detroit. New Zealand. Bradenton, Florida. Richmond, California. Ireland. Tijuana. San Antonio. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Jersey. Orlando, Florida. North Oakland, my backyard. Dallas, Texas. 214. Vancouver, UK, London. Orlando, Florida. Queen City. Kansas City, Missouri. Concord, California. Sun Valley, what is it? Sun Valley Mall? Arkansas. New Hampshire. Dallas, Texas. Wichita. KC up in this. Tampa up in this. Memphis, and man, I love seeing this, man. Seattle. Jersey. UK, Leeds. Oakland, Miami, Florida. We out here. San Antonio, Memphis. I see y'all. We'll do another one at the end. We'll do another one at the end. Y'all want me to jump into Joshua, or you want me to talk about my latest Instagram post about 2017 Trainer of the Year? We'll talk about Rigo Loma in a minute. All right. So I want to get my thoughts real quick. I just posted this. You guys can disagree. In my opinion, the year is about up. You know what I mean? There's not even that many fights. To me, the 2017 Trainer of the Year should be either Derek James or Andre Rozier. That's my opinion. Derek James or Andre Rozier. So we can go through it and talk about it. And then y'all can give me your feedback. The reason why I think it should be either of them, Derek James trains Errol Spence Jr., which is a long-time partnership since Spence was like younger, teenager or whatever, right? Spence took a major step up in class because before his best wins were Chris Algieri, Phil LaGreco, Leonard Bundu type of guys. and Derek James and Spence went over to the UK, fought Kell Brook in his backyard, made him take a knee like Kaepernick with no Muhammad Ali award, and beat Kell Brook via stoppage in the 11th round in his backyard. In his backyard. That's one. That's for Derek James. Two, Derek James has Jermell Charlo, who is a WBC champion. He took on back-to-back #1 mandatories. First, Charles Hadley. There was a Dallas versus Houston rivalry. There was a bunch of this, especially from Charles Hadley. I covered that fight. It was on the Berto Porter card, I think. And Charles Hadley was talking a good game. He was the #1 mandatory, and he was talking a lot of shit. And he said he was ready for that action. Jermell Charlo has a sensational knockout in that fight. Bow, caught him with a hook. Hadley was asleep. Then Charlo comes back and fights Erickson Lubin. The same thing, #1 mandatory. Some people said he was ready. Some people said he wasn't ready. There were a lot of people, see, this is what I hate about boxing. There was a lot of people really rocking with Erickson Lubin, but then after you see him get melted in the first round, then them people just disperse and evaporate, and nobody wants to claim it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to claim that anything happened. But at the time, I had a channel. There were a lot of people picking Erickson Lubin, a lot of people picking Charlo, and it was probably the most anticipated fight, even though it wasn't the main event. People were anticipating like the main event. Charlo goes in and knocks Erickson Lubin out one punch in the first round. So between that, Derek James did his fucking thing. Those 3 fights alone, to me, those are sensational fights. Charlo got 2 New York Barclays Center knockout of the year candidates, and then Errol Spence Jr. off a 9-month layoff knocked out Kell Brook, who had never been knocked down by even Golovkin and never been beaten at welterweight. Now Andre Rozier, longtime trainer of Daniel Jacobs. I covered that fight too. Sor Rungvisai versus Chocolatito. Co-main event was Triple G versus Jacobs. Me personally, I thought Jacobs did enough to beat Triple G. It was a close fight. It was a fun fight. It was a fight where we need a rematch. But nonetheless, even if you had Triple G winning, Jacobs did not come to lose. He did not come to lay down. And he ended Golovkin's 23 knockout in a row streak. And people said Jacobs was going to get knocked out. And that simply did not happen. That's one great performance by Jacobs. He also survived a knockdown versus Golovkin and then got better. He was amped up, throwing combos and stuff, reduced Golovkin to a jab. And I think, honestly, in my opinion, that performance inspired Golden Boy and Canelo to take the fight. Like, oh, this motherfucker, he is ordinary. You know what I mean? I'm not clowning Golovkin, but I think that's how Canelo's team looked at it. Like, man, we fight different than Jacobs, and just from using fundamentals and athleticism and movement, and he reduced Golovkin to just a jab fest, right? Then Jacobs, off of the Golovkin loss, has a little bit of a layoff from March to, I think, November, comes back and fights Luis Cuba Arias. And just like the Charlo, the Hatley, and the Erickson Lubin fight, Luis Cuba Arias had a lot to say. He was like, who hitting the deck? Who hitting the deck? This man got a paper chin. He getting too much credit for surviving with Golovkin. Woom, woom, woom. Jacobs comes and he beats Cuba Arias every single round. I didn't give Luis Cuba Arias one round. And ironically, Jacobs made Arias do what Arias told Jacobs not to do. Arias was like he was telling him, don't run. And if anybody ran in the fight and was looking to create space, it was really Luis Cuba Arias. So Jacobs had those 2 performances that I liked, and that's with under the helm of Rozier. And then last week, Saddam Ali, excuse me, Saddam Ali beats Miguel Cotto. Hall of Famer beats a legend, trained by Andre Rozier. Rozier had great corner advice to me. Saddam Ali got stopped in 2016 at welterweight. He moves up to Cotto's weight, and he beats Cotto. And not only does he beat him, he decisively beats him. Hey, Julian, you're full of shit. You talking about Cotto was showing age in that fight? That's his fucking problem. Because when he was fighting Kamagai, he didn't look like that. He looked good versus Kamagai, and people were talking about how crispy Cotto was. Styles make fights. Saddam Ali won fair and square. I don't give a fuck about a torn bicep. His wife's titties was out and distracted him. Stop making excuses. Cotto lost. He lost. Saddam Ali was supposed to get knocked out. Saddam Ali was the underdog, and Saddam Ali actually ended up hurting Cotto multiple times, definitely more times than Cotto hurt Ali. So those, to me, those are very strong performances for Rozier to get that nod. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Like I'm not doing these excuses no more. It's always so, oh, but Cotto, he showed signs of regression. He's balding. I don't care about that. If Cotto took 2 years off and that's how he's looking, that's his fault. Because he didn't look like that versus Kamagai. Because Kamagai got no fucking defense. Kamagai doesn't move his head. He's just big for nothing. He started off at lightweight and he has no fucking defense. He's just a very tough Japanese fighter. And a lot of those Japanese fighters, the Takashi Miura, Arakawa, the fighters like that, a lot of them are just super durable and tough. That's just the culture and the mentality. But Cotto was able to do that stuff, and he looked okay, or he looked good versus Kamagai. But Saddam Ali had speed, which has always bothered Cotto, had mobility, had some snappy power. Cotto lost. Stop with these excuses. It's sickening. I tell you, I'm the Punisher. I'm Frank Castle of this boxing stuff. There will be justice out this motherfucker. So I don't care who you pick, Andre Rozier or Derrick James. I think they both deserve. I wouldn't be mad at either. It sucks that only one person will get it, but to me, I think they both deserve it. More so than Freddie Roach. Has Freddie Roach even won a fight this year? Cotto got his ass beat. Pacquiao, Jeff Horn. Hey Mayweather, do you want the cane or the walking stick or the gloves? Like, has Freddie Roach won a fight this year? I don't even know if he's training Glenn Tapia anymore, but that's his old fighter. He lost to Gabe Rosado. What has Freddie Roach won? Because Freddie Roach keeps winning Trainer of the Year. What is it? What fighter has he taken to the promised land this year? GSP? Oh, an MMA guy? Like, who's he helped in boxing? Damn, somebody said GSP. That's sad. His only win is in the fucking UFC after a 4-year hiatus. Wow. And that's a little different because them UFC fighters, GSP, the MMA fighters don't have one coach. They got a grappling coach. They got a boxing coach maybe. They got a striking coach. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't even give Freddie Roach because GSP, he hurt Bisping, but he didn't knock him out with punches. He didn't TKO him. He ended up putting him in like a rear naked choke or some shit. He put him in a submission move. So Freddie Roach teaching submissions now. So you can't even really count the Bisping if you really think about it, because he didn't win via strikes and punches. He might have set some things up with that, but Saunders versus Jacobs, they ain't fighting. So, listen, I don't jump the gun like that. When there's a big fight like Saunders-Lemieux, he got to get past Lemieux before I'm thinking about Jacobs, and I don't even know if he does that. I don't know. Saunders-Lemieux, I don't know. I look at the fight, the Saunders-Lemieux fight is this way. If Saunders can box intelligently and get some respect and make it to the halfway five or six round without giving David Lemieux any looks to the point where Lemieux knows he has him hurt, then Saunders can win. He can outbox him, maybe late TKO, maybe. But if Lemieux gets that early confidence and hurts him bad, then Lemieux will win. It just really depends. It's that type of fight to me. Because Lemieux, this is Lemieux's problem. Lemieux's problem, he's kind of like Gary Russell when he fought Lomachenko. He's throwing everything at one intensity, one pitch, one speed, like, bah! You know what I'm saying? And that's cool, But you've seen Lemieux versus Marcos Reyes. If that was who else? Let's say Floyd Mayweather had David Lemieux's power at middleweight, then Marcos Reyes would have been knocked the fuck out by Floyd Mayweather. If you gave Floyd Mayweather a middleweight frame with David Lemieux's power, but Floyd's brain, then Marcos Reyes would have got destroyed. So would Christian, Fabian Rios, because they're smarter and they will put it together different. Lemieux, he struggles a bit. If he has you hurt like Curtis Stevens and it's just a slugfest, you know what I'm saying, and he gets off on you, then that's cool. But if it starts wearing on, he struggles with putting it together sometimes to figure out how he's gonna get you out of there. Like Canelo's very creative with his punch variety, very creative. Lemieux needs to work on that, varying his attack, like start digging exclusively to the body if the headshots aren't working. So it's an either or fight. I think Lemieux can win, Saunders can win. That's really about game plan and how they look on that particular night. So I don't really know. Most of Lemieux's wins are KO. Yeah, because but that doesn't change what the fuck I'm saying. If he gets you hurt, then he knows how to get, you know what I'm saying? If he gets you badly hurt and you just fucked up, yeah, he can knock you out. But if you're durable and crafty, then that's where he struggles figuring out a way to get you out of there with all that power. I like Saunders' chances against any top middleweight right now. I don't. I think Triple G would crush him. I think Canelo would beat him. And Daniel Jacobs would beat him. So I don't like Saunders' chance. That's just me personally. Saunders, he started off good versus Andy Lee, but then towards the end it was kind of alright. David, man, Golovkin will, man, make the fight. If Saunders gets past Lemieux, put him in there with Golovkin, and we'll see what I'm talking about. Jamal Charlo, I forgot about him. What is Saunders gonna do to beat him? He's shorter than Charlo, probably a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? Charlo, I think that'd be a bad style matchup for Saunders. Y'all want to talk about this Anthony Joshua shit right now? The East Coast ain't got love for Death Row East? Oh shit, let it be known then. Y'all ain't got love for Boxingego? We know where the fuck we at. Y'all ain't got love for Boxingego? We can't get triple digit likes? We know where the fuck we at. Can we get some likes on the board? Huh? Huh? Oh, y'all want to talk about that AJ. Listen. Buffalo, New York, I'm down with Ego, my dude. See, Ego Army. From the West Coast to the East Coast. Let's get it, man. I fuck with the East Coast. East Coast is wavy. They got all the slang. They got the flavor. But listen. Man, I could think of a couple people I would pick to beat Saunders. That's no hate. That is my honest opinion. Triple G smokes him. Canelo, I think, would beat him. David Lemieux might beat him. Danny Jacobs would beat him. And Jamal Charlo. Man, especially if Saunders looks like he looked versus that Wolverine dude. Berserker Barrage. Draw power. If he looks like that, he's toast. Without the cinnamon crunch, he's toast. But it looks like he's been taking it ever since that shitty performance versus Wolverine. Looks like he's coming correct versus Willie Monroe, and then Lemieux. He looks like he's getting in good shape. So I give him props for that. If you're new to the stream, hit that like button. Y'all know the drill. Oh yeah, and Andre's up there. Yeah, man. I can think of mad motherfuckers that beat Saunders right now, in my opinion. And that's just being real with you. All right, let's talk about this Anthony Joshua shit. Listen. Boxing fans, some of y'all are starting to get pathetic. Some of y'all are starting to get pathetic. It's like, you gotta show your ass, pause. It's like pulling teeth to see a quality fight. Why? Why who doesn't want to see Wilder Joshua? Like, if it really answered that. If you're a real life boxing fan, it's just like Eminem. I'm a fan of Eminem, so he's about to drop a new album. I'm not trying to protest so the album doesn't come out. I want to hear what it sounded like, because I like Eminem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like boxing, love boxing, so I want to see good fights. But a lot of you, it's like weird. It's very weird. Y'all talking about Wilder shouldn't fight Joshua. He don't deserve it. What? So who do you want? You want to see, in your opinion, you want to see the Dominic Breazils, the Eric Molina, Carlos Takam, Kubrat Pulev, Fresho Quindos? You'd rather see that? That's what you want to see for Joshua? Like, you know what I'm saying? And the thing that I never understood is if somebody's your mans in them and you have a fighter that you like, you should want them to fight the fights that are going to be defining moments for them to build their legacy. You know what I mean? Like Roy Jones, I didn't care who you put. I wasn't worried about Tarver, even though he lost to Tarver in the rematch, right? I wasn't worried about him, things like that. I wanted to see Roy Jones fight all them dudes because that was my go-to dude. But now it's like, boxing fans, y'all need suit and ties, I guess, because okay, Cock Slam Craig. First of all, your name sounds horrible. He says this is too biased for me. Well, guess what? You're blocked, my friend. We got our first block. This is so biased. Get your ass up out of here. And I don't even like your name. Cock Slam? That sounds like some clown shit. Hey man, I'm Cock Slam. You apply for a job at Walgreens. You know, they're like, oh, what's your email? cockslam@gmail. Fuck out of here. Anyway, sorry about that, y'all. You know we gotta block people. This is too biased for me. Then leave. And if you don't want to leave, I'll make you leave because you blocked. But anyway, yeah, fans are businessmen. Yeah, fans want to see. I could have put him in the hot seat, but what did I say that was biased? Because I'm saying I want to see a good fight. That's bias. So what do you want me to say? I don't want to see good fights. Sounds stupid. The fans, man, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. But okay, so Wilder Joshua, not even Wilder Joshua. Okay, so Joseph Parker's team is on the horn right now. Joseph Parker's team is on the horn screaming at Joshua saying, we dropped down from 50-50 to 65-35. We're willing to take 35, put our title up against your titles. And he's saying that, like, and we offered you a rematch clause. And they're saying that Team Joshua don't want it. So my thing is this. In boxing and just life in general, you got to look for patterns. If someone has a history of something, if there's a certain pattern you're seeing, then that's gonna raise some eyebrows. I got a question for you guys. Y'all want to, man, see, I got so many points. If y'all want to hear this point/question, can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? And I'm gonna kick the science for y'all. I need a couple hell yeahs at least to motivate me. I'm about to kick the science, yo. Okay, ask yourself this question. Let's say okay, this is how I view stuff. I try to logically look at things. Okay, what if it's Deontay Wilder and Joseph Parker? Both of their teams are being unrealistic with their demands. So that's why these fights are getting hard to make and hard to negotiate with the money. Okay, so using that logic, then ask yourself this question. Since y'all put hell yeah, I want y'all to answer this question. How is it that everybody that Anthony Joshua has faced thus far that didn't have a belt, those fights seemingly got made fairly easy? Like Klitschko, after he beat Eric Molina, Klitschko jumped in the ring unbeknownst to the fan, and they announced the fight that they were fighting in 2017, right? Dominic Breazil, they kind of just announced it. Eric Molina, all these fights got made, all these title defense fights with Joshua, they all got made with little to no resistance. I don't remember hearing any kind of, oh, Dominic Breazil's asking for too much money or he wants this split. Everything got handled behind closed doors, right? But with the 2 unifications, the 2 guys who are champions, all of a sudden, now these fights are getting broke up in negotiations over money. That has to show you something. Why was there no turmoil and no issues making those other fights? But now the fights that actually mean a damn, because you're fighting against a champion, now you guys, nobody can agree on a split. You know what I'm saying? So that has to show you something. Maybe they view those champions as a higher risk. Maybe the champions are more standing their ground, like, yo, I'm a champion. I'm putting my belt on the line, even though it's only 1. I'm still putting it on the line. For this fight, you got to pay like you weigh. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that shows, at least in my perspective, that this is more of a Team Joshua matchroom, Team Joshua, Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua issue. Because again, none of these other fighters that didn't have belts, of course they're content taking whatever. They just want the opportunity because they're challenging for a title. But now when people already have a title, and these are kind of like legacy, at least for the time, legacy defining fights, now all of a sudden it's hard to make. That's crazy to me. Crazy. And then we got an imposter account. He got blocked within seconds. So everybody put your L's up. Like, the funny thing is, what do y'all think that does to me? Like, someone make a fake account? Like, listen. Oh my gosh, man. Listen to this. For all the trolls out there who like to get quick L's. And this is just for the fans. You don't even have to be a troll. We are certified now. This is Death Row East. You see how it says Boxingego? And there's a check mark? That means we're verified. If you hover over this, hold on. Verified. Just so there's no, listen. Verified. Listen. It's too late for the trolls. We verified now. If you don't see that check mark, you know it's not me. They could have similar names. They could use pictures of me. But if you ain't got the verified check mark, you ain't me. You ain't authentic. You a fugazi. So just so the fans know, when you see these imposter accounts that have my picture like creepy weirdos, if it don't got that check mark, it's not your boy. So once again, we verified in the game. Just as Joshua Wilder, Joshua Parker, it's just like, why is this all of a sudden so hard to make these fights now? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sin City, $5 super chat. Gang, gang. Says Ego, I don't always have a chance to get on live, but your true fans, true boxing fans support you. Keep it up. Much love. I appreciate the super chat and just you taking the time to leave that comment. I really do. And that's what I do this for. Try to mix in the live streams with the regular content and have fun with this. But it's just like, to me, it really feels like Team Joshua is starting to get a little bit greedy. Just a little bit greedy. Shout out to Decatur, Illinois, man. Seems like they're trying to get greedy. Like Joshua, like no matter who he fights, he's a marketable name. He's gonna make money. You know what I'm saying? To me, 65-35. Like, see this. Oh man, I'm about to go in. Joshua versus Wilder. People said Wilder was, listen. Just listen. People said Wilder was ducking when the news came out that he said something like 50-50 or no fight, right? They said he's ducking. He wants 50-50, he's ducking. Now you got another motherfucker with one belt, just like Wilder, not as accomplished, but still got a championship belt that he successfully defended. Whether you liked his performances or not, those are facts. And now he went down from 50-50 he's down to 35. He offered a rematch clause if we beat you. And Joseph Parker's team saying that Team Joshua is hesitating on that, to pull the trigger on that, meaning they don't like that split. So it's like the walls are closing in for the fans who are trying to push against these fans. So Wilder's ducking for 1 and 50-50. Joseph Parker initially 1 and 50-50, and now he's settled for 35. It's like, what do you think these other champions, like realistically, I want to have a vote. What do you think these other champions are gonna get? We understand Joshua has performed at this level and he's the A side. But honestly, what do you think you're gonna be able to pay other champions to travel to the UK, where they're not from, to fight you? You know what I'm saying? If 35 is not something that you're like chomping at the bit to get it done for. Like, honestly, what do you guys think? And if you guys put stupid shit, you're going to be in the hot seat, and we're going to battle this out gladiator style. So you guys put for Joseph Parker, what's a realistic, I don't care about the money amount, put a realistic percentage per split. 90-10, 80-20, 70-30. Put those numbers. Put how much each fighter in a realistic fashion, how much you think Joseph Parker or Wilder should get. It should be at least 40%, 40%. 35 is reasonable. 50-50, he's champ. 65-35. See, all of that sounds realistic. Parker 40, Wilder 50. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's, to me, that seems like kind of a hang up on Joshua's side. Because what are you expecting to pay champions for unifying? Plus they got to travel. And see, the other thing is, you got to understand, since everyone wants to, boxing is a business. Deontay Wilder, if he's traveling to the UK, his trainers got to travel to UK. Probably his brother and his a couple people from his entourage. He has to train and get sparring partners. So the money is not just what you pocket, it's also what your expenditures, what you have to pay out to make the fight happen. You know what I'm saying? So those are things you have to consider too. And it's just like, I mean, what does Joshua want? Like, we get you're the big A side, but it's like you can't power play people to the point where they have something that you want, and they'll help. Both Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder would produce bigger events than if you were to fight Kubrat Pulev, Lucas Brown, Fresh Oquendo. Does anyone disagree with that? Does anyone think Lucas Brown versus Joshua would be a bigger fight than Wilder and Joshua? Even Shannon Briggs, he's a character, he's entertaining. But if he were to fight Joshua, it's not going to be as big as if Joshua fought Parker, especially if he fought Wilder. Mayweather only fights at home. Once again, what does Mayweather have to do with any of this? And that's to Victor Germano. What does Mayweather have to do? Mayweather's retired. What does he have to do with Joshua? They're not even in the same weight class. What are you talking about? See, y'all are a bunch of Donald Trump Juniors. When the pressure's on you to come with rebuttals, but Hillary lied to the FBI too. We're not talking about Hillary. We're not talking about Floyd. We're not talking about anyone other than the heavyweights. You bringing up fucking... They're like, Trump, what do you think of Michael Flynn? But Hillary lied too. She lied to the FBI. What? Danny Jacobs beat cancer. Oh, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, Roberto Duran lives in Panama. Let's talk about, why are you talking about retired people? Crazy. New media fucking you boys up. That's what I do know. That reminds me of a joke. I think it was either Dave Chappelle or Cat Williams, but they were talking about when Kobe was going through that rape case. And someone said, I think he said, I don't like Kobe because he's a snitch. And I think it was Cat Williams, and he was like, he said they were asking him like, Kobe, why'd you go to that? You're married. Why'd you go to that girl's hotel? And he was like, Shaq do it all the time. Like, what? Shaq do it all the time? What do you mean? Why you bringing up Shaquille O'Neal? We talking about you and this bitch that you allegedly raped. You bringing up Shaquille O'Neal? That's crazy to me. But Mayweather, what's Mayweather got to do with Joshua? Like they're a package deal. Boxingego love to smoke weed. That's slander because I don't smoke weed. So, Mr. Dammy, if you leave another slanderous comment, you will be blocked for misleading the public. I don't smoke, so stop saying stupid shit, or you about to get smoked and blocked about this stream. Anyway, yeah, like to me, it's like it's seeming. If you really think about it, the best fights at heavyweight are fights with unifications and champions. Period. You know what I mean? Why? I mean, what? Like I said, Lucas Brown, Shannon Britt. You would rather see that than Wilder and Joshua? You think those would be bigger? I don't see that. You know what I mean? Even Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's still well above the fighting, and I think he has a hearing in February. So I'm not really worried until I see his weight dramatically come down. He could do all the dodging the little Nerf balls and all that, dodging those little sticks and all that. But until his weight comes down and he has that UCAD meeting or whatever hearing he got in February or March, then it's a dead issue. I want to talk about eligible active fighters right now. People who can fight right now. Tyson Fury can't fight right now. If Tony Bellew said, oh, I'm going to fight you in December 10th, Tyson Fury wouldn't be ready by December 10th. Period. So that's why much love to Tyson Fury, but he's not, until he makes himself relevant, he's not relevant. Until he beats his case and all that. So anyway, the biggest fights are Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua. So it's like you gotta pay like you weigh. And that's the part of being an A side too. Like, it's funny because since y'all bring up Mayweather so much, Floyd Mayweather, you didn't really publicly hear about Canelo mad at the split, Maidana mad at the split, but now we're hearing all this stuff about Joshua and Wilder, and they can't agree on the split, and Parker and Joseph Parker and Joshua can't agree on the split. So it's just like, man, crazy. Joseph Parker isn't as anticipated as AJ Wilder. I agree with that, but they're not trying to fight Wilder next. Eddie Hearn pretty much made that clear. So it would be anticipated if you're not going to fight Wilder next. That's like a next best thing. If Joshua beats Parker, he'll have all the belts except for Wilder's. So that'll build up the anticipation. I don't know. I'm still talking about. I see you guys like switching subjects and stuff. I'm still on this Joshua Wilder Parker situation for a little bit longer because I want answers, man. It's like, realistically, what are you expecting these guys to get as heavyweight champions? Like you can't disrespect somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like I went with my friend one time, right? He was broke as fuck or some shit, and he went to this pawn shop out here. I think it was Andy's pawn shop in Fairfield, right? And I went with him. He had a pair of Beats headphones, and he was trying to pawn them off because he needed money. You know what I mean? Had bills or whatever the fuck he had to do, right? And let's say at the time, the Beats headphones were like $300. The guy at the pawn shop offered him something stupid. I don't remember what it was, but let's say $45, $20 or something stupid. And they were in mint condition because he had just got them as a present, I think. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it make sense. $300 headphones, and you're going to give them that low? Or here's another example. I used to work at Best Buy, and if you have like a GoPro or like an old PlayStation games, majority of the times, if you do those little trade-ins, that I don't even know if they still do it, but they used to do trade-ins where you can trade in your PS4 or your iPhone and get a credit, and they wouldn't give you shit for it. You know what I mean? It'd be like a $500 iPhone in good condition, and they'll offer you $60, something real low. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't be disrespectful at the negotiating table. Like, come on. 35% is too much. GameStop's the same way, exactly. Hell yeah, you be like, oh, I got this brand new Madden that just came out last month. I'm done playing it. $5. Like, what the fuck? It's like a $60, $70 game. You talking about $5 credit? So you gotta be realistic with your offer, man. Ego, who has more to lose, Rigondeaux or Lomachenko? Lomachenko. Easy. Easy. Reason being, he's fighting at his weight where he's the champion, and he's the one that's being billed as #1 pound for pound. Look at the ESPN list. They got him #3 or some shit. They got Rigondeaux 7 or 8. So of course, Lomachenko. It's a Rock Nation top rank event, but it's really a top rank event. If you want credentials, you don't really apply through Rock Nation. You would have to apply through Top Rank. So they're spearheading the promotion. So this is a Top Rank event, because Top Rank is the one that has the ESPN deal, not Rock Nation. So yeah, I definitely think there's more pressure on Lomachenko. How could anyone disagree when he's the champion up there and Rigondeaux's moving up 2 weight classes? At the very least, Rigondeaux can be like Amir Khan and Kell Brook. Oh, I dared to be great. The weight was too much. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko, if he gets stopped, what's he gonna say? Oh, this is not my natural fighting weight, but I've been bullying people at this weight and doing good and considered the best as his weight class. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's definitely more pressure on Loma. Yeah, they're fighting for Loma's belt. Rigondeaux, I fuck with Rigondeaux, pause. He's talking greasy. I think he did an interview with Radio Raheem. Shout out to my dude, Raheem. But he was like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him or something. Rigondeaux, he really don't act like he give a fuck. Like he's like, kind of like a hood dude, a little bit. I fuck with Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux's dope. But yeah, definitely more pressure on Lomachenko. He's the one that's, man, listen. Y'all can say whatever. But as of lately, the media, especially the big boxes, the networks, they're giving a lot of precedence and attention and exposure to the Eastern European style. Guys from Russia, Ukraine, former USSR, you know what I mean? They're giving a lot of Kazakhstan, they're giving a lot of praise to the Eastern Europeans. And honestly, from what I think, when a lot of times when those Eastern Europeans stepped up against people who had things to offset theirs, a lot of them got embarrassed. Like Kovalev, I thought Ward beat him the first time, and he damn sure beat him the second time. You know what I mean? And that was Kovalev's division, where he was the notorious puncher. When Terrence Crawford fought Victor Postal, that was a 50-50 fight on paper. I was at the fight. I covered it as media. Crawford dogged that boy. You know what I'm saying? When Shabransky fought against Sullivan Barrera, he got annihilated. You know what I'm saying? He got knocked out. So they're giving a lot of like credit. I'm not saying there's no good fighters from those regions, but they're giving a lot of credit and praise, and some of the people aren't even panning out. And others, like Vodstick, he looks good, but we haven't seen him with Adonis Stevenson. Put him in with Adonis Stevenson and see how good, you know what I mean? Because if you're fighting, he looked good versus Uniscus Gonzalez, but like I said, I want to see him fight a guy who I know could offset him. Like, who had the power to, who has Vodstick hurt that had real life proven power to hurt him? Honestly. Somebody explain that. Someone answer that to me. who has Vodstick fought that you would say had proven power that he had to really stand up against? Like, damn, he made it through this fighter's punches? I can't think of nobody. Yudiskev Gonzalez after Jean Pascal beat him? Ego, so it's about money now for Wilder? What are you talking about? Like, honestly, what are you talking about? Put it this way. In 2017, it's about money for everybody, including me. Listen, I do this all the time. I could go to extra. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I could go to a lot more, and I'm not trying to sound cocky or nothing. I could go to a lot more fights, but if it's not worth it for me, and I'll end up, like, I don't mind. It takes money to make money. So if I have to invest money for the grand scheme of things, then I don't mind. Like when I went to Mayweather McGregor for a week, when I went to cover Canelo versus Golovkin, I don't mind those, because even though I'm spending the money up front, I get my money on the back end because I get more content out. You know what I mean? Get interviews and just footage and different stuff like that. But if it's like Orlando Salido versus Mickey Roman, I'm not going to that shit. Because it's gonna. There's another fight that same night, Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko, right? So it's about money for everybody, including me. Why would I go to Mickey Roman versus Salido? And I'm not saying it's a bad fight, but I can make more money sitting at home watching the fight that I prefer to see, which is Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux, and I could be more expedient and get out more content than. I don't even know where the Mickey Roman. It might be in LA or some shit. I don't know. I don't know where it's at. But whatever. I'm not going to it. You know what I'm saying? The boy Ego. You see Haney call out Tank on IG? Nah. I heard that. I mean, I see him going back and forth. I like these young cats. The Ryan Garcias, Tanks, Devin Haney. They going after theirs. I like that. I like that hunger. See, because like. Y'all can say whatever you want about me. I call it how I see. Keep it a buck. You can see people like Cotto. I watched Cotto's whole career, from when he had hair, when he had the little curly shits and shit, little tapered fro. I watched all of that, and you see Cotto get to that mountain, that pinnacle, and he was there for a while. And in recent years, that level of hunger, you've seen it digress. You've seen it go down a bit. I mean, it's very evident. He took 2 years off after losing to Canelo. 2 years? And I don't even think nothing was wrong with him. I don't think he's like broke his leg or some shit where he couldn't come back. You know what I mean? So you could tell the hunger just hasn't been there for Cotto. He's a good fighter, so he can go through the motions, go through a training camp. But, I mean, Saddam Ali beat the shit out of him. And there's no disrespect to Saddam Ali, but that wasn't supposed to happen on paper. A guy coming up in weight, and then you just get hurt multiple times. Like, so Cotto, he kind of lost some of his fire. But these young cats, they're still young. And that's part of, you got that energy and stuff when you're young. So the Devin Haney's calling out Robert Easter and calling out Tank. So I like that, you know what I mean? Shout out to the young class. Richardson, Hitchens, Shakur Stevenson. I'm really checking for all these young cats. Yeah, he kept talking about supporting his family more than fighting. Yeah. Yeah, Cotto, he just kind of, to me, when he started losing to like Austin, you lose to Floyd, okay, cool. But you start losing to Austin Trout in that fashion. Now, and that's not taking nothing away from Austin Trout. I think Austin Trout was a quality fighter. But look what happened when he fought Canelo. Canelo beat him. Cotto loses bad to him. And Cotto looked like shit there. Man, new media is fucking you boys up. Because y'all get gassed up too easy. Y'all listen to these networks and shit. Networks talking about, oh, Cotto, he's... Listen, I heard Freddie Roach and Jim Lampley say Cotto would do so much better versus Floyd Mayweather in a rematch. Man, Cotto would lose worse versus Floyd in a rematch. Period. But like I said, since Cotto got with Freddie Roach, y'all always buy the same shit without making the the point proven. You know what I'm saying? Like, how he did. Cotto's always been a damn good fighter. Him getting with Freddie Roach didn't do shit. It was who he fought. If Cotto stayed with Pedro Diaz, you think Delvin Rodriguez would have beat Cotto? Honestly. If Cotto stayed with Pedro Diaz, would Delvin Rodriguez have beat him? Fuck no. If Sergio Martinez had a bum knee and fought Cotto with Pedro Diaz, would Sergio have beaten him? No, because his leg was fucked up. It didn't have nothing to do with Daniel Gill at a catchweight. Would he have beaten him? But, you know what I mean? It didn't have nothing to do with Freddie Roach. It was who he was fighting. Because Freddie Roach didn't save Cotto when he fought Canelo. When he fought a guy, an able-bodied young guy, where he had to deal with weight and all that. And he lost that fight convincingly to me. So, and then Freddie Roach against Saddam Ali, apparently. He lost that fight. So, to me, yeah, Cotto's been the same fighter. It's not like he just felt comfortable in the wildcard gym and all that. Cotto held his own against Canelo? No, he didn't. He did okay. He did enough to not get knocked out, but he clearly wasn't going to win the fight. Victor, I'm not going to argue with you all day. Against the bigger, younger fighter. Okay, Floyd is older than Cotto, and Floyd dogged Canelo. He dogged Canelo and made Canelo look like a schoolboy. Canelo should have just parted his hair and wore a school uniform, because that's how Floyd dogged him. Cotto is bigger than Floyd Mayweather. He has more fights at 54, and he didn't do what Mayweather did versus Canelo, and he lost to Canelo. So you can make all the excuses and you want, but pillow-fisted, like all you guys say in the comment section, pillow-fisted bitch Floyd, runner Floyd, did better versus Canelo when Canelo was undefeated, and he was up against the weight disadvantage too, if not more so, because Floyd is smaller mass-wise than Cotto. Wait, but the Cotto-Mayweather fight was closer than Canelo-Cotto. Alright, I gotta get Victor out of here. I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. Now it's time to melt you, because now you think you know some shit, and now I gotta catch a body. Okay, so this is why you fall flat with your argument. You said, wait, but the Cotto-Mayweather fight was closer than Canelo versus Cotto. First of all, instead of saying Canelo, you put an A, so you're probably Puerto Rican or something, because you're finding a way to make fun of Canelo's name. Second of all, Floyd fought Cotto after he beat Antonio Margarito. No, we gonna go through it. You're like, was it? I got the floor now. Cotto avenged the guy who cheated against him, right? And then he fought Cotto, and then he fought Mayweather. So that version of Cotto was super dangerous because he redeemed himself from his first ever loss. Second, Floyd moved up 5 weight classes. Canelo hasn't moved up 5 fucking weight classes. Floyd is naturally smaller than both Canelo and Cotto. So aside from the timing of just coming off the Margarito win, Floyd is naturally smaller than Cotto. And by saying that the Cotto fight was tougher, Floyd easily won the fight. Cotto gave him some issue, bloody up his nose, but he still convincingly won the fight. There was no disputes, or Cotto almost got knocked out in the 12th round by Floyd Mayweather. See, this, you know you done fucked up. You know, I know my boxing. You know you done fucked up. Now, fast forward to the future. When Canelo fought him, this was years after Mayweather had already beaten him. This was after Cotto had fought and lost to Austin Trout. So he had 2 back-to-back losses, and the people he was facing, Daniel Gill at a catchweight and a wounded Sergio Martinez, and then he in the end fought Canelo. So that's not as impressive because this was years after he had already lost to Trout and Floyd Mayweather. So you bringing up what you're bringing up sounds stupid. Now on the flip side, when Floyd fought Canelo, Canelo was 23 and he was undefeated and he had just beaten Austin Trout, right? So do the math. When Floyd fought Canelo, undefeated, champion, much bigger, and he schooled him. And Canelo was coming off the Trout victory, and he had been calling out Floyd for a while. When Canelo beat Cotto, Cotto had lost to Floyd and to Austin Trout, and the only people he had beat were a wounded Sergio Martinez, Daniel Gill, and he beat Delvin Rodriguez. So that's a big difference. You're going off of the names and then what happened in the fight. You're not looking at the timing. You're not looking at how much momentum the guys carried. All that stuff matters. That's like saying, oh, but Paulie Malignaggi had an easier time with Zab Judah than Floyd Mayweather did. Yeah, but who was Zab Judah when Paulie fought him versus who he was when Floyd fought him? So off top, I know you don't know shit about boxing because you have to look at the timing. Yeah, Zab Judah lost more decisively probably to Paulie Malignaggi versus he gave Mayweather some issue in the first 4 rounds. But when Floyd fought Zab was faster and he was more in prime than when Paulie fought him. Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Let's vote. If he got that L served up real quick, put your L's up. Put your L's up. Victoria quiet now. Of course he's quiet because he got that L. We ain't playing. I told you, man. Y'all not trying to burn, like, y'all don't want smoke in this hot seat. You gotta, if you're gonna compare something that's reasonable. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare when things change. That's like Victor Postal, he beat Lucas Matisse. Yeah, he gets credit for that. But when Danny Garcia fought Lucas Matisse, Matisse was ripping heads off and running through people. Had just knocked out Lamont Peterson. So you can argue that Matisse at that time was more dangerous. But by the time Postal got him, he had already got knocked down and lost to Danny Garcia. He got knocked down twice by John Molina in a war, came back and beat John Molina, and then later on Postal fought him. You got to look at the timing. I seen the L's. One of my moderators, get Victor up out of here. He can't coexist with the big dogs. He tried to stomp with the big dogs. He can't handle in the hot seat. Talking about trying to compare Cotto and Canelo to Mayweather and Cotto. Mayweather and Cotto happened like 2012 or some shit. Canelo fought him in 2015. That was 3 whole years. And like I said, Floyd moved up 5 weight classes. Canelo was naturally bigger than Cotto. Cotto's naturally closer to a 154 pounder than Floyd is. That was a bad one, super L. Hey. See, and the thing, you know what the worst part about this hot seat shit is? He had been leaving dumb stuff for a while, and I wasn't even going to do him in. I wasn't even going to say nothing. But then they just keep going and keep, then I'm like, now I got to get you. That's how it always works. I try to leave these dudes alone, let them just enjoy the stream and move on, but they keep going, and then I'm like, okay, now you really want the hot seat, so if he dies, he died. I mean, they just won't stop. Start thinking they know shit. I must break you. What are y'all arguing about? You and Charles been arguing for a minute. See, I just see some of the shit. I don't know all the conversations that are going on. I ain't heard Big Crit's new album yet. What do y'all think about Teddy Atlas being removed off of the Lomachenko Rigondeaux broadcast? Young Credentials, what's good? Someone said great, damn. Crit's album's dope. What's it called? You know, I've interviewed Teddy Atlas. I really like Teddy Atlas. I think he's a wealth of knowledge. But now, I don't know what happens, but it's like when fighters get with these big, I mean not fighters, when commentators get with these networks, it's like they become almost, y'all ever seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Anybody ever seen that movie? Invasion of the Body Snatch, or even The Faculty? Anybody seen The Faculty or Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where the aliens would take the form of the human, or even The Thing too, with Kurt Russell, and those they would inhabit the person's body, so it would look like me, but it's not. That's what a lot of these people with these boxing networks, that like Max Kellerman, I swear to you, when back in the day, Max Kellerman would do his commentary, and I'd be like, bam, this dude knows his shit. Max Kellerman is on fire. He's on point. And I looked at him as not necessarily as much knowledge as Roy Jones, but he was up there. If Roy Jones wasn't there, or if anyone else was saying good points on the HBO telecast, it was Max Kellerman. But then it got to the point where it seemed like Max Kellerman sold out to become a company man, because he started saying like dumb shit, like making excuses for Pacquiao on the shoulder. When he was on ESPN First Take, he was saying stuff, and I'm like, damn, this don't even sound like Max Kellerman anymore. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatcher. I mean, Max Kellerman said that even though Floyd Mayweather, he believes Floyd beat Pacquiao. Even though he knows Floyd convincingly beat Pacquiao, he says Pacquiao's still the best fighter of this generation because he moved up 3 more weight classes. Which is stupid. How can you be the best when you guys had an opportunity to fight and you came up short? And you know what I mean? He's always talking about, like, it's just, he switched up. He's always talking about Floyd did it for the business, like as if Floyd's not a true fighter. Same thing with Teddy Atlas. I find myself enjoying a lot of the older Teddy Atlas commentary, but recently it's been like, damn, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That big network money changed hearts. It must be, because they start pitching different ideas. Like Teddy Atlas, I was at Crawford and Dongo, and I was right there, and in front of Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward, he gonna put Lomachenko as pound for pound #1. Do you understand how disrespectful that is? That's disrespectful. A guy who had 10 fights, because this was before the Miguel Mariaga fight, he had like 9 or 10 fights. You gonna say he's pound for pound #1, but Ward just beat Kovalev twice and is a commentator on there, and we know everything he's done. Edwin Rodriguez, the Chad Dawson win, the Super 6 wins. You know what I'm saying? And really, you're gonna say Lomachenko's? Come on. So I'm kind of glad Teddy Atlas ain't on the telecast, because sometimes he be doing too much. You put the coconut in the pina colada, like sometimes he be too wired. But like, come on, man. And see, this is the thing I hate about boxing, is the people will say, like, I'm trying to think of how I could say it. The media, like big boxes, HBO, ESPN, or whatever, Dan Rayfield, they'll come up with outlandish things and outlandish placements on their pound for pound list. And then when a motherfucker like me rebuttals and tells you why I totally disagree with that pound for pound list, or Lomachenko being #1 pound for pound, then people try to flip it like I'm hating on that person. But I'm not hating on that person. I'm simply undoing the bullshit that they do. And you know what I mean? And giving my opinions. But it sucks. I don't really care, because I don't really care what people think like that. But I'm just saying, it sucks that the way they create this mess, and then I gotta clean it up, and then now people say, oh, you hate Lomachenko, you hate Triple G. I don't hate Triple G. I don't hate Lomachenko, but I do hate being dishonest with the public, and I do hate these pound for pound lists that they keep trying to like force feed people. I'm wearing a Deadpool shirt. Somebody said, what am I wearing? I'm on that Deadpool shit. But yeah, it has nothing to do with hating these fighters. But if you say something outlandish, and then I'm just supposed to just accept it, and if I don't accept it, then I'm hating on them? No, it don't work like that. You got 9, 10 fights, you're not pound for pound shit. Period. Nah, I ain't got no robe on. What robe you know got a hoodie? I ain't never seen a robe with like a hoodie like that. But anyway, Yeah, man, it's just crazy. Lomachenko's solid. He's a good fighter. But when guys like Golovkin, Crawford, Ward, before he was retired, all them dudes got 30+ fights. Canelo got like 40, 50 fights, right? And then you're going to put a person with only 9. That's stupid. And see, man, listen. Y'all better hope my fight prediction is wrong and Rigondeaux loses. Y'all better hope Rigondeaux loses, because I look at it like this. Once again, if Rigondeaux beats Lomachenko, hypothetically, Lomachenko will have 2 fucking losses in 11 fights or so. 2 losses, and y'all just say he was pound for pound number 1 to 3, depending on who you ask. Y'all better hope Rigondeaux loses, because that's going to be hard to justify. And once again, all the Dan Rayfield, fat ass, all them people who said this stuff, they're going to look stupid. Teddy Atlas, oh yeah, Lomachenko, he just go, no, okay, he's number 1, so you better pray he doesn't lose, because if he loses and he has 11 fights and 2 losses, that's not really that great, and that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, that's no pound for pound. Excuses will be made for Loma. What could you say if Rigondeaux moves up 2 weight classes and convincingly beats Lomachenko? And see, this, listen, I'm gonna put it out there like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. If it's some bullshit, listen. If it's some bullshit on the scorecards, like where we all seen Rigondeaux win and they somehow gave it to Lomachenko, if it's like a Triple G versus Jacobs type of affair where people are split, then what I'm saying still stands, because we know when politics get involved, just like that 118-110 Canelo score. So to me, it's not going to be a good look unless Lomachenko wins. So they better pray he wins. Point blank, period. Remember when Lomachenko called out Crawford? I don't even want to hear about it. You won't even fight Mikey Garcia. Lomachenko made Rigondeaux move up 2 weight classes when you could have moved up 1 and fought Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia pulled up on Lomachenko in that ESPN green screen room. Like, what is it? Like, what's good? I heard y'all saying I'm not a star. Let's talk about a fight. Okay. But instead of him moving up 1 weight class, he made the little guy finally move up 2 weight classes. So it is what it is, but I always tell y'all the same shit. Listen to what people say then and now. Yeah, Mikey's a G. And see, this is the thing. They're talking about Lomachenko next year is going to move up to 35. Good luck. Because I'm trying to tell y'all, man. 35 got some killers. Jorge Linares, Mikey Garcia, and Robert Easter. Shit, I'm not even being facetious. Listen to me. Denis Shafikov, Richard Comey, and Ray Beltran. Those fights could be difficult, and it's not even that those guys have more skill than Lomachenko, but his power is not all that to me at 130. So if he moves up another 5 pounds, them guys are hitting harder than him. Clearly. Richard Comey got cracks, right? Denis Shafikov, nobody that fight Rancis Bartholomew, Easter Jr., Shafikov, Comey, I mean, none of them have an easy time with Denis Shafikov. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, the elite, even the dude that just Luke Campbell, he's a gold medalist. Those are all more difficult fights. You going too far, 147, way better than 135. Who's going too far? I never compared lightweight to welterweight. So I don't know who you're talking to. I'm just telling y'all, man, if Lomachenko loses, then it's not going to be a good look. Oh, somebody else you were talking to? So, And even in the YouTube, like, I'm not, like, I don't care. As long as I do my thing, I do my numbers, try to help my family out, and keep it pushing. But even there's like other YouTubers, and for some reason people leave in the comment section or like mention. I just hear through the grapevine stuff that other YouTubers say, and they're always wrong. Everything they say is wrong. I'm like, how do they even have any kind of credibility at this point? Like Shabransky, they were saying Shabransky will beat Andre Ward. He got knocked out by Kovalev, easy work. A guy that Ward knocked out, and he got bodied by Sullivan Barrera, another guy that Ward beat and knocked down. And y'all talking about Shabransky, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, how did some of these dudes even have any credibility? Like, how are you all? I'm not perfect. I get it wrong sometimes too, but I'm not wrong like that. Like every fucking thing out my mouth is wrong. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people do whole lists of fighters, like the ones to beat and all this stuff. Like, this shit is crazy, man. But that's why certain people are ahead and certain people aren't. It's straight up. Like, I remember I was doing, if you guys rock with me for a while, remember I made the videos about Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez? I'm like, he's solid, but y'all putting him at #1 pound for pound. Do you see, this is so fucked up about the game. Do you notice those same people that were pushing Roman Chocolatito #1? It's like they fell off the face of the earth. They don't even mention Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez as even pound for pound top 10. Like, even, like, for example, let's say Kovalev. Kovalev got his ass dusted off by Andre Ward twice, definitely in the second fight, but people still have him on the pound for pound list. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, they don't even put him in the top 10 anymore. You know what I mean? Pacquiao took losses to like Mayweather or something, and they still had him on the pound for pound list. Chocolatito, the same people that were pushing him and saying he was #1, and I'm making video. That's what I'm saying. I gotta clean up other people's messes. Those same people that were saying Chocolatito's #1, I'm like, I don't see that. I talked to Paulie Malignaggi. He was like, I don't see that. He was like, how you pound for pound #1? You can't even see out of your eyes. He was saying, how you pound for pound, you can't even see. Your eyes are swollen shut. You're not pound for pound, bro. And then we were the bad guys. Me and Paulie Malignaggi were the bad guy. I remember when I dropped that video, they're like, fuck Paulie, he's a pillow-fisted bitch, he's a hater. You know what I mean? Ego's a hater. Where are the same people that were putting Chocolatito up here and saying he's Alexis Arguello and he's #1 pound for pound? And it's like they just drop off. But see, we're not, new media, man, Death Row East, believe in that. We're not doing that. We're not allowing them to escape. You can't escape this wrath. If you say that dumb shit, it's gonna come back to haunt you. And I'm gonna make sure you guys remember that. Like I said, you guys know who I'm talking about. All the people in the comment sections and stuff. Go back to those old videos. Chocolatito's #1. I'm like, Chocolatito's solid, more so offensively, but he's not #1 pound for pound. Yes, he is. You're just a hater. You don't like them unless they're black and all this extra stupid shit. Now they don't even put him in the top 10. No one's even checking on Chocolatito. No one's like sending him flowers and chocolate like, hey man, how you doing after that Rungvisai shit? You know what I mean? No one's even, name someone who's even made a video about Chocolatito in the last month or two. But he was the #1 pound for pound. No one's even talking about him. That's crazy. Crazy. But that's what they do. So like I said, if Lomachenko loses, expect the same thing. Then they'll just disown him and then go on to Vodstick. It's Beebles time. You know what I'm saying? And they just move straight on to the person who has the momentum. Notice a lot of the people that I've been saying is the one, they haven't let me down since. Floyd Mayweather, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. I mean, they're still continually producing. Period. And even if, man, even like Floyd Mayweather's 40, and even though Conor McGregor is way bigger, even though he's not a boxer, he didn't lose like Cotto just lost to Saddam Ali. Crazy, man. They overhyped him because they wanted him to beat Floyd's record. Maybe so. But it doesn't matter what the reason was. You look stupid. When he... do you understand? Sor Rungvisai was not even a boxer. He was a kickboxer. So he's like one of them Chris Algieri motherfuckers, Dillian Whites, who were in what's his name? Gerald Big Baby Miller. No disrespect, but you came from a non-traditional boxing background. You came from a martial arts background and then came into boxing exclusively. You know what I mean? Because he's from Thailand. He was a kickboxer. He fought Carlos Cuadras, a guy that Roman Chocolatito beat, even though he narrowly beat him, right? Carlos Cuadras beat Rungvisai, and then Chocolatito can't beat him. So you beat the guy who beat the guy, but you can't beat him. And you get 2 chances at it. Crazy. And you know what oh my God, man. Let me stop before I start hurting feelings. So, you notice, like, a lot of the people who they hate, let's say Floyd or somebody, when Floyd has a tough fight with Maidana or Castillo, Floyd gives an immediate rematch, and then he beats him officially, so there's no disputes about it, right? Chocolatito did do that. Props to him. His very next fight, he came back and rematched Sor Rungvisai, but he got fucking stopped. You went 12 with him, got knocked down. People thought you won the fight, and then you get stopped. Then other guys, they have, like Kovalev, you thought you beat Ward, then you rematch him, and then you lose even worse in the second fight, right? And then there's other people who are like fan favorites, and they never have to fucking rematch the person that gave them a close fight. Triple G versus Jacobs, they act like Jacobs is yesterday's news. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're not really pursuing Jacobs right now. Why? Why is there no pressure for Triple G to clear that up? Knock Jacobs out. Rematch him. Fight him. You know what I mean? Lomachenko fought Salido and took his second fight, pro loss or whatever, in 2013 or so, 14. And 3 years later, he still ain't fought Salido. And they still make excuses. Oh, Salido, he wanted too much money. Then how come Floyd could figure it out and make it work with Castillo in the rematch to get him in the ring? Can make Maidana work. Give Maidana whatever Maidana want. Now Maidana's fat as fuck, watching Narcos eating nachos and shit, retired after the Mayweather paydays. You get me? But like certain fighters, they have a tough fight. They don't have to avenge it. You know what I mean? Klitschko gets his fucking ass whooped by Joshua. Good fight. But he just retires. I'm done. I've done all I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Rematch Joshua. See if you can beat him. Why you retire? But let other fighters do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let Errol Spence have a close fight. He would be called all kinds of ducks and bitches if he don't give the person a rematch. Jacobs ain't no walk in the park. Of course not. He wasn't a walk in the park the first time. And see, the other thing, and that's the thing with the rematch, is some people think, like, if you Floyd, the rematch might be easier because Floyd like starts collecting data and remembering what you did and how you move and shit. But rematches aren't always easy. Reason being is because both guys have experienced 12 rounds or whatever. If it went 12 rounds, they've experienced that with the person, so they could watch tape and be like, damn, I should have pressed him in round 4 and he didn't like that body shot. So you could build from your mistakes in a rematch. You know what I mean? You can see what you did right versus what you did wrong or what you could have done more of in a rematch. So rematches aren't necessarily guaranteed to be easier. I mean, look at Roy Jones versus Tarver. Jones beat Tarver via decision, then he comes back and gets knocked out. So it doesn't mean it's like easier. Tarver probably seen, damn, I could have did this different. Triple G straight up and down, no special effects. Man, Triple G needs to give the fans a rematch. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fans, they make excuses. Oh, we already seen the Jacobs fight. Then why did Floyd have to fight Maidana again? You know what I'm saying? Because he had to prove that he could beat him. And Maidana did get him in the 3rd round or whatever with that hard-ass fucking punch. But Floyd, being a G, he just ate the shit. Got back to it. he's trying to unify the belts though. Hey, AIC 95, you full of shit. You full of shit. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't want it with y'all full of shit, man. He's trying to say Triple G is trying to unify the belts. You're full of shit, so everybody knows AIC is full of shit. Triple G's trying to unify the belts, but Billy Joe was like, hey, I got me pinned. I want a couple things me way. And he was trying to press Triple G to make up for lost time. And Triple G chose the money fight in fighting Canelo. So that doesn't sound like a person who wants to unify the belts, because you didn't have to. You didn't have to fight Canelo. Obviously, it would increase your bank account if you fought him. But if you really were trying to unify the belts, then why fight Canelo? And the other thing is, see this. I'm gonna tell you, man. This is what Team Triple G. This is the part that they're doing that kind of pisses me off. Team Triple G is letting Canelo dictate their fucking future. They're like, Tom Loeffler's like doing interviews like, yeah, I want to know as soon as possible if Canelo's gonna rematch us, because if not, HBO, they say we could fight in March or April. Man, fuck that. If Canelo's acting like a weenie or doesn't want to fight you or something, make your own plans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. That's what Amir Khan did. Amir Khan let everybody dictate his future, every big star. Floyd Mayweather, and he let Pacquiao do it. And none of them gave you, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna fight Pacquiao in Dubai. Now you're doing reality shows. You're doing Fear Factor UK or some shit. You know what I mean? Because you couldn't get that Mayweather work and you couldn't get that Pacquiao fight. You know what I mean? I've never been a fan of that. That's like, shout out to Errol Spence Jr., a real one. Shout out to Texas, DeSoto, Texas, because he's pressing Keith Thurman. He really wants that Thurman. I genuinely feel he wants that fight. I think he would definitely fight Jeff Horn, right? But those fights didn't materialize. Definitely from Keith Thurman. He ain't trying to fight him next, at least. He's talking about he might not even fight him in 2018, and the year ain't even fucking started. And Errol Spence, he's not waiting. He's fighting, okay, Lamont Peterson, he's a top 5 guy. He's a guy with the name, a guy we have a backstory. He's my friend, but business is business. Salute to that. Don't wait for and that's, to me, that's the biggest thing Team Triple G has been doing. Triple G, listen to me. See, I'm not here to beat around the bush, especially tonight. Team Triple G, for the last few years, they went from fighting like 3 to 4 times a year to barely fighting like they were with that level of frequency. You were fighting 3. I think Triple G's father passed away. He was supposed to fight, I think, maybe Andy Lee earlier, like in the early spring or some shit. And then that fight got scrapped because for bereavement reasons. And Triple G still that year, even though his dad passed away, he still fought like 3 times that year. You know what I mean? But now all of a sudden it's like everybody is like, let's wait for Canelo. You letting Canelo dictate your whole future. You letting Canelo do whatever he want. Like he just is. Have you ever seen? You ever seen a girl that strings a dude along? Like she don't. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all some game right now. I'm gonna give y'all some free game. If a female wants to be with you, she'll be with you. She's not gonna string you along. If a woman is really into you and she's really sprung, she's gonna be with you. Like she'll be the one motioning and pushing for y'all to be together. But then there's been other situations where, let's say a guy's spending money on a girl or whatever, and the girl's still not really budging. Like she's not making it exclusive. You don't know what she's doing. You know what I mean? She's not necessarily exclusive to you. Then she's not firm in her decision. So she could be stringing you along. Because once again, if a female is really feeling your vibe, you're on the same wavelength, she's gonna want to be with you. She's gonna want to lock that down, right? That's the same thing with Canelo. If Canelo truly wants to fight Triple G, then he's gonna make it happen. We shouldn't have to wait for Lemieux Saunders outcome. Canelo said he wants to immediately rematch, why are we waiting? Why are we waiting for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff? So at that point, I would be worried about my own thing. Let me become undisputed. You narrowly kept all your belts because one different scorecard, if one judge didn't have it a draw and gave it to Canelo, Canelo would have took all your fucking belts. You know what I mean? And now you sitting up here letting him dictate your whole future, letting Golden Boy and Eric Gomez and Oscar and, hey, Gennady Golovkin, just wait. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Like, you just waiting. Why wait? Tom Loeffler, he could have been. He just fought Canelo in September. They could have fought in December. They could have fought somebody in December. They could have fought in January, February, March. But they're waiting. They're waiting to see Canelo what he does. Man, fuck that. Canelo, aside from the paycheck, he don't even have a belt. Canelo don't even have a belt. What are you waiting for? You know what I mean? You got a cool paycheck from fighting him the first time, I'm sure. Go about your business and keep it pushing. And then, if anything, it'll make Canelo look bad. Like, man, if Golovkin came out and said, yo, we fighting Jamal Charlo or Ryan Murata in Japan because Canelo taking too goddamn long, that's not gonna make Triple G look bad. It's just gonna be like, damn, Golden Boy, they stalled him out. We're talking about Canelo Triple G. So I don't know. And see, part of it now, that the way that Triple G is like letting Canelo be a Geppetto and he's the puppet. You know what I'm saying? He's letting him puppet master him. Now I'm starting to think of, now since there's threats in the division, you know Daniel Jacobs is coming to give you a tough fight because he already gave you a first tough fight. You know Jamal Charlo looks like the goods, right? Now that there's those types of threats, now that might be why he's trying to babysit. You know what I'm saying? That might be why he's trying to babysit this Canelo fight, because he knows that's the most money, and that's a guy who's, I'm not saying Canelo's like sorry or nothing, but Jacobs and Charlo and guys and Demetrius Andre, they present a whole different stylistic problem for Triple G than Canelo. Canelo's short. I was just next to him after his fight. I got the video on my cell phone and everything. He's short. I've been next to Demetrius Andre to watch him spar. I've watched Danny Jacobs. Been next. That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? Charlo, all of them dudes. Canelo's short next to all of them. So all those fights to me are different, stylistic. So that might be another reason why Canelo or Triple G is still kind of waiting for the Canelo decision. But I don't believe in this waiting stuff, especially for Triple G. Triple G's not Mayweather. People are already making excuses that, oh, his age, he's slowing down because he's 35. So that type of style usually does better if they're more active. And see, y'all want me to go in? I haven't been live for 4 hours. It has not been no fucking 4 hours. But anyway, y'all want me to go in? Give me a hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? We about to go in on this. So listen, check it like this. Hold on. Y'all want me to go? Okay, y'all want me to go in. Let me take a sip. Listen, Triple G's team is letting Canelo and Golden Boy Amir Khan him because they're sitting around. It's just like the example I gave about the girl stringing you along. That girl is stringing you along and she's not really committing to you, but what if there's a guy, she's playing the field, she's keeping her eyes peeled, and she's, you know what I mean, she's keeping her options open. So if there's a guy who like she's really interested in, she's gonna go with him over you because she's not really committed to you. You're somewhere between maybe and being in the friend zone. You know what I mean? And that's not a good position to be in, because what if that girl does choose another guy? Like she's openly, you know what I mean, I'm single, openly dating, and then she finds someone she feels she connects with better, has a better car, whatever she likes, then you just wasted all that time and energy on her when you should have been dating. but you tried to keep it exclusive, and she wasn't keeping it exclusive with you. See, I'm giving y'all too much free game. Y'all gonna have to start putting in some super chats if y'all want this game, this free game. But you know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense. So in a situation like that, like if I'm dating a chick or whatever, and it's not she's not really on that vibe, like she's committing and she's doing her thing, then I'm not gonna hold myself back from doing my thing. I'm gonna be on the dating scene too. You know what I mean? Like, why would I be exclusive to her and she ain't exclusive to me? That's stupid. Same thing with this Canelo Triple G situation. Triple G, you letting, like I said, Canelo and Golden Boy be the Geppetto. And what if they say, oh, David Lemieux, he knocked out Billy Joe Saunders, he looked great, and they're both with Golden Boy. You waited all this time, and after that fight, what if they negotiate Canelo versus Lemieux? You wasted all this time, and now you got to scramble to find out who your next opponent is. And then meanwhile, let's say you get past your next opponents in May or whatever, or March. Canelo's aging you, because if you fight Canelo in September again, then Golovkin's going to be 36 by then probably. So, man, I'm not really, I would never, if I was Team Triple G or Tom Loeffler, I'm not waiting on Canelo. Canelo, his team told you the fight was yours in 2016. Yo, we going to fight Amir Khan, you fight whoever you want, we'll see you in September. And then September came and they said, hey, no, give me my belts. Okay, here you go. And they waited and wasted a whole 2016. Golovkin fighting Dominic Wade, and then he was supposed to fight Daniel Jacobs on December 10th. They couldn't agree on money, so that's probably the only fight he had. Hold on, let me check. See, new media. I don't like to give y'all false information. I like to keep it, you know, the up and up. So the year Canelo stalled him out, let's see how many fights Golovkin had, and that's 2016. Because I covered this fight with Wade that year. Canelo was supposed to fight Khan. Oh, he fought Kell Brook. Okay. He fought Wade and Kell Brook. And you had to fight a fucking welterweight because you had to scramble because you found out Canelo wasn't trying to fight you. Right? Can y'all hear me? It said it was reconnecting or something. Can you guys hear? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that you should allow another man to dictate and define your career. Obviously, Errol Spence wants to fight Keith Thurman. Obviously, Wilder wants to fight Joshua. Obviously, Triple G wants a rematch with Canelo. But Wilder's talking about fighting Luis Ortiz or Alexander Povetkin because he's not going to just sit around idly and become stale waiting for Eddie Hearn and Team Joshua to pick him out of the crowd. That's like some pimp and hoe stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like when a pimp chooses you on the track or something. Don't just wait to get chose on. That's what Amir Khan did. And Pacquiao nor Mayweather chose you, and you end up wasting all your time. See, I know things about boxing because I've been covering it so long. And some of you guys may or may not remember this, but Amir Khan was actually supposed to fight Devin Alexander. And then the fight fell apart for some reason. And then Floyd said, oh, I'm going to do a poll with Maidana and Khan. And whoever you guys vote, get it. And then Khan didn't want to fight Devin Alexander because he would rather fight. Y'all can't hear? Can you guys hear? Some people are saying the stream is cutting out. Can you guys hear me? Testing. Okay. So anyway, some of you guys may not remember this. Khan was slated to fight Devin Alexander way before they fought. And for whatever reason, the fight fell apart. And Khan, he opted to not fight Devin Alexander and reschedule because thinking he was going to get a Mayweather shot. And then Mayweather chose Maidana, had a tough fight with him, and then chose Maidana again. And in the end, Khan was waiting. and then he finally fought Devin Alexander again. That's a lot of wasted time. Hold on 1 second. I just switched my internet. I got 2 different internet channels. I don't know. It's just the stream keeps reconnecting and stuff. Damn, they hating on the stream. Well, I'm glad it's back, but we lost a bunch of people who were in the stream trying to get this shit right. What do y'all think of? I don't know. My thing with Triple G, I just think he shouldn't waste his time. I'm waiting for. That's like I said. I keep giving y'all this free game, man. Like I said, it's like if a girl really likes you, she's gonna want to lock you down. She's gonna want to be with you. Like if you've been dating her and keep kicking it with her, everything's good, having sex, whatever you guys do, you're gonna know that she wants to be with you. And sometimes the guy don't want to be with her, doesn't want to commit, but you're gonna at least know that that's what she wants, right? But if she's not giving you those vibes, then your whole world shouldn't stop. You should still date, see other people, you know what I'm saying? Like not no foul, corrupt shit. Like just be open, and you know what I mean? We're seeing other people, we're just getting to know each other, blah, blah, blah. And that's not what Triple G, his team is doing. He's banking, he's putting all his eggs in the Canelo basket, and that's what you did in 2016, and you end up fighting the welterweight because you had to scramble to get somebody in there, and then the Chris Eubank fight fell apart. That's not smart business. Triple G 35, pushing 36 next year, and to me, they should be worried about being undisputed, like just worried about their legacy, like sew up the last part of your career. You know what I mean? If Canelo wants to fight you, he'll fight you. But I don't know. Like, you got to look at it like this. Golden Boy was supposedly negotiating with K2 and Triple G. They took the whole month of November off, pending and waiting for Billy Joe Saunders, which is not even the next fight. Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux is the next fight, right? And they're waiting this whole time, like a month and a half of stale you could have, in this amount of time, you could have been negotiating with Ryan Murata, Jamal Charlo before he gets tied up, Danny Jacobs rematch. You can have maybe even a behind the scenes with like Billy Joe Saunders, like, yo, if you beat David Lemieux, we're trying to fight you. You could do all these negotiations, but instead, everybody's taking a break, waiting for this Lemieux Saunders outcome, and then you're gonna see what Canelo wants to do. And you could tell that Triple G is the B side because they're allowing this. They're allowing themselves to potentially get played. Tom Loeffler just did an interview, and he's talking about he just wants to know as soon as possible if Canelo's trying to fight him next. Because if not, they have dates lined up that they can fight on HBO in March or April. It's like, why wait for... Man, if Canelo can't give you a stern answer, you already fought him once, I'd be like, yo, if we don't know by December 15th, if we're fighting you, then we're going to move on to our other options. And you can... De La Hoya could try to threaten you or whatever. When you're desperate, that's how people take advantage of you. I'm trying to give y'all some real life game, not even on no boxing shit. Listen to me, if you're desperate, you're more likely to be taken advantage of because people know that you have no options. They know you need them, so they can take advantage of you. Like, let's say let's say I went into a hotel or something in Vegas, and I'm like, man, I have no place to stay. I didn't rent a car. Then the hotel can raise the price or some shit on me, and they know I'm willing to pay whatever to get there. But if you act nonchalant, you're not coming from a position of desperation, you can get a lot farther. You know what I mean? Triple G, to me, his whole team needs to look better. Like, they need to appear like they're not waiting around for whatever Canelo decides. Like, it's like Canelo's your dad or something. I'm not even trying to be funny, but that's what it's like. It's like you're waiting for permission from Canelo. You have a career, he has a career. Just like Wilder Joshua. I really think Wilder wants to fight Joshua. Joshua and Eddie Hearn pretty much made it clear in 2018 at some point, but really not next. It's not gonna happen next. So I'm sure Shelly Finkel, Al Heyman, Lou DiBella, they're working on whatever's next for Wilder, be it Luis Ortiz or Povetkin. You know, Wilder just did an interview and he said that. He was like, man, I'm not chasing Joshua. But that's exactly what Triple G's doing. It's like he can't wait. He can't wait to hear Canelo's decision. And like, you gotta look at it. Like, Amir Khan did all that to get a Mayweather payday. He still to this day has not. Conor McGregor ain't even in the same fucking sport, and he got to fight. He got to fight Floyd before Khan did. Maidana got 2 shots at Floyd and retired before Khan, and Khan still ain't got to fight Mayweather or Pacquiao. Man, I'm just not up for that finesse. Y'all ain't, man, I would not let somebody finesse me like that. And see, and realistically, Canelo's a star. If Lemieux Saunders is a good fight and the winner wins impressively, Canelo can easily fight. Like, let's say David Lemieux knocks out Saunders. Canelo can easily fight David Lemieux, which is probably, I'm not gonna say it's like not a dangerous fight because Lemieux got cracks, but probably not the same level of danger as maybe a Golovkin. And Canelo could if Canelo could do 51,000 versus Liam Smith, he could sell with David Lemieux, and that's an in-house fight. They're both with Golden Boy. They could easily make that fight. You know what I mean? And then meanwhile, Triple G is gonna be on the back burner, and then now he's gonna have to figure it out what he's gonna do and who he's gonna fight. Meanwhile, Canelo is younger, so he's you know what I mean, gaining experience and coming into his own in his prime, and Triple G's getting older with his aggressive style, which, you know what I mean, could put more mileage on you and stuff. It's just not a good look to me. Not a good look at all. Because by the time, man, I'm done talking about this shit. So, I mean, the best case scenario for Triple G is he gets Canelo's next fight in May. That's the best possible. But it's still a gamble because Canelo said he wanted to fight immediately. Golden Boy said they wanted. K2 says, if K2, I just seen a headline. It says, Tom Loeffler says, if it were up to us, the Canelo fight, Triple G fight, would already be agreed upon by now. You know what I mean? So that's proof right there that they want to make the fight, and if it was up to them, they would have already made the fight. You gonna make a video about Kovalev's win? Hell no. Why would I make a video about a fight that happened like 2 weeks ago? I didn't get a chance to do it the day of. I'm not going back and making a video. That doesn't even make. See, listen. You guys have to understand. You guys have to understand business, and I honestly recommend that everyone start a small business. I'm a human. I cover as much boxing as I can. I didn't get around to making a Kovalev fight video. I watched the fight. If you follow me on social media, you would have seen me that night. I was tweeting about it, but I didn't get around to making a video about it. But that doesn't even make business. See, y'all always want to talk about business. YouTube shit, at least for me, this is a business. And it would make no sense for me to, since I didn't get to do the video already, you guys know I didn't get to do a post-fight on Kovalev, to wait 2 weeks when Rigondeaux and Loma are fighting, and then Billy Joe Saunders and Lemieux are fighting, and then I'm still talking about a fight that happened 2 weeks ago. Like, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I cover boxing frequently. Some fights I don't get around to doing it. It's just, it is what it is. I watched the fight. And see, this is the other thing. This is another reason why I probably wasn't that motivated to do it. On top of being sick, was, I mean, Kovalev, that's cool, but you knocked out a guy who's been knocked out in the last year or so against Shabransky. To me, that doesn't really prove nothing. That doesn't prove. I want to see who he fights in March. That don't prove he's back. That don't prove shit. You didn't do that to Andre Ward in the second fight. And Shabransky fought like an idiot. To be honest, Shabransky fought like no head. I mean, like you bound to get fucked up. You going in against a boxer puncher with a lot of power, with no defense, and trying to slug it out. And every time he hurts you, you're not clinching, no head movement, you're not getting on your toe. I mean, you're gonna get knocked out. So, I mean, to me, it's not really, there wasn't much to say about the fight. Kovalev did his thing. He got a win. Congrats to him. Someone said he fought like a damn mummy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if he does that to Adonis Stevenson, Bivol, Beterbiev, Vlatsdik, I'll be like, phew, shit. Kovalev's back. But it is, I don't, listen. I try to be as realistic as possible. Like Lucas Matisse, I can't say he's back and he's a major player at welterweight for beating Emmanuel Taylor. Broner been beat Emmanuel Taylor. You know what I mean? Taylor's not even a real welterweight. So yeah, you knocked him out. You look good in the fight on the Canelo Chavez Jr. card, but that don't mean nothing. You know, in the grand scheme of things, because could you do that to Keith Thurman, to Errol Spence? You know what I mean? That remains to be seen. So that's how it is when it comes to the Klitschko thing. You got to make the fight in the hype. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Spence versus Matisse. That's cool. But I don't think Spence would get much credit for beating Matisse. I think Spence would dog Matisse. I think it would dog him. See, and listen, Matisse's already quit in the fight versus a far lesser puncher than Spence. Once you have that, I'm telling you, man, it's hard. It's hard to forget. You know what I mean? It's hard to forget that. You quit in the fight with Victor Postal. You know what I mean? So if the going gets tough, I think you can quit again. I mean, shit, look at Chavez Jr. He quit versus Fafara, right? No, he didn't want to continue and shit. And then when he fought with Canelo, he kind of fought like he quit. He did nothing versus Canelo. All that, even if he was like dehydrated, he still probably weighed more than Canelo on fight night, and he let Canelo do whatever he wanted. Canelo admitted in the fight he got tired versus Chavez Jr. And Chavez Jr. didn't even capitalize on that. So, you know what I mean? If you have a quitter mentality, then I think you can quit again. Yeah, and, oh, wow, that's a good point. Postal got smoked. Someone said Postal got fucked up by Crawford. Yeah, that's another thing. Crawford got Postal got annihilated by Crawford. So, yeah, Matisse, he's solid. He's with Joel Diaz, but until you beat an upper echelon person, I mean, I can't say these guys are back. It's just like Broner. Okay, you lost to Maidana, and then you beat Carlos Molina or something. I can't say he's back until he fights Maidana a rematch, or at least a similar style. And then when he fought that similar style in Sean Porter, he lost again. And then when he fought Mikey Garcia, he lost again. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really just be like, you're back, until I see you can now beat the style that gave you problems or the person that gave you problems. Yeah, Lomachenko can't be pound for pound #1 right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, or Lucas Matisse rematch Danny Garcia. That's a good fight. Fight Terrence Crawford. He's y'all both new welterweights. Matisse Broner. Yeah, that's solid. Oh, let's talk about Keith Thurman. That's a good point. I made a video about Keith earlier. I just feel like Keith Thurman's whole energy has changed a bit, right? It's like Sean Porter's been calling out Keith Thurman for a minute. Like, I know for a fact because I was in April, I covered Sean Porter versus Berto, right? In New York. I covered that fight in April. Sean Porter was calling him out right then and there. And I never heard any rebuttals from Keith Thurman. I never heard anything where he's like, oh yeah, Sean Porter could get that work. But then now, when Terrence Crawford calls you out, Errol Spence is at your throat, and those are the fights that fans really want to see. Now Keith Thurman is finally saying, oh, I think Sean Porter, he deserves a rematch. Like, what? Why? When Sean Porter was calling you out in April, why didn't you respond to it? Now you have different threats that you've never faced before, and now you want to revert back to the guy you've already beaten. You know what I'm saying? His energy seems mad different. Every time Spence comes... See, Keith Thurman's in a weird spot. It's like a paradoxal... He's in like a paradox. You want me to explain? Can I get a hell yeah so I can explain the precarious situation of the curious case of Keith Thurman? I'm going to explain it if I get a couple of hell yeahs. Y'all got to motivate me, and I'm going to explain it to you. All right. This is why Keith Thurman's in a precarious position. Okay. Years ago, Floyd was being called out by Keith Thurman. Everybody should remember that. Keith was like, I'm burning money. I want to fight you, Floyd, blah, blah, blah. Floyd's like, you ain't earned a shot with me. I got a guy you can fight. Fight Errol Spence on my undercard. At the time, Keith Thurman was kind of downplaying it. Like, this kid's not a champion. Who's this kid be? That's kind of offensive. I'm trying to fight you, and you trying to send, like, your bodyguard, Errol Spence, who hasn't really done nothing, to fight me, right? So that was Keith Thurman's initial standpoint, is basically, like, that's offensive. That's offensive. He's not a champion. He ain't really beat nobody, so why should I fight him? He has to do more. Maybe in two years. That's literally, there's an interview where he said, maybe in 2 years. Maybe in 2 years we can fight. Now 2 years has passed since that, and Errol Spence is now a champion. He's looked good in his last Bundu, Algieri, Kell Brook fights. And now you're saying that Errol Spence, I got to come back from my injury. But he's not high on my priority list. Sean Porter, the guy I already beat, he deserves a shot. So it's like, what? So this is why he's in a bind. Because before, I think Thurman tried to front Spence off, non-champion, he ain't proven nothing. Now that he has proven stuff, and he is a champion, and it's a unification, you can't no longer... You said you want to be undisputed, you can no longer front on Errol Spence, because to be undisputed, you have to go through that. You have to go through him unless someone takes the belt up off him. Now, here's the other thing. This is why it's even more precarious. There's another top shelf, top quality fighter named Terrence Crawford who called out Keith Thurman. I was there. I have the video. I recorded the video at the Crawford and Dongo fight, and Crawford says he wants that action. And now Keith Thurman is saying, oh, he hasn't fought at welterweight, and what has he done? He has to make some noise to get us all interested. The welterweight's a different division. He has to make himself relevant. So now Keith Thurman, to me, he almost talked himself into a corner. This is the paradox that I'm talking about, right? He talks himself into a corner, and I'm gonna explain why. I feel he talks himself into a corner because you got two respected guys who are now in your division. Errol Spence and also Terrence Crawford, even though Crawford hasn't officially had a fight there yet, right? So you can't say Crawford ain't made no noise at welterweight, so I shouldn't fight him. Okay, let me take that back. You can say that. You can't say, okay, Crawford ain't fought at welterweight. That's the reason I'm not fighting him. He has to become relevant. Okay, fine. But then you move over, Errol Spence is a threat,
and he's a champion at welterweight, and he's made noise at welterweight, and he's probably going to make more noise on January 20th if he beats Lamont Peterson. So now you can't have your cake and eat it too. You get what I'm saying? You can't say guy A ain't fought at welterweight, so me fighting him proves nothing because he's irrelevant. Because now Errol Spence made himself relevant. He made himself relevant, and he's a title holder. So which one is it? You know, you get what I'm saying? Which one is it? Either, oh, we shouldn't fight Crawford because he's not relevant in the division. Okay, but Errol Spence is relevant, and you still talking about we might not fight him in 2018. Things that make you go, hmm. Shout out to the Cali Enigma $10 super chat. I told y'all them yelling them orange super chats, man. His comment, Triple G is dumb. The only way he fights Canelo is in September, and he's likely to be coming off a long layoff. Keith Thurman could lose to Sean Porter. Porter had his moments in the first fight. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Triple G, I'm not a fan of him hibernating his career.
Boxingego here. If you like
waiting
puncher in this fight or the boxer? Crawford. In your last outing.
Shout out to Sura47M, $5 super chat. Thurman's still in honeymoon phase. Wow, y'all are funny.
You called out Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman is one of the bigger welterweights in the division. So what do you see? Is there anything beside the two belts that you see?
Look at it. Hold on, yo. Did Terrence Crawford hear me? Cause it looked like he cut his eyes. It looked like he moved his eyes over at me. That shit was kind of creepy. That shit looked like he looking at me. Oh shit, oh shit, Bud looking at me. What the fuck? His eyes were not looking at me, and then he, look, see? Bro, look how serious fucking Bud looks right now. He said Keith Thurman. Okay, what you got to say about Keith? 402 Omaha, cuz.
The two belts that you see in Thurman that interest you?
He's the #1 guy in the welterweight division. So, why take 1, 2, or 3, or 4 when I go to welterweight? I want the #1 guy in the welterweight.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Heather Graham could get it too. Okay. Yeah. What's this, Top Rank? Okay, yeah. Anyway, this boy Bud is not playing no games. I try to tell y'all, this dude is not. That man looked like Stone Cold Killer. He's not playing. I'm telling you, man, it's not looking like a great situation for Keith Thurman, because, like, as a boxing fan, I prefer what Crawford said, win, lose, or draw. I prefer that attitude that he just displayed over what I'm hearing from Keith Thurman. He said, I'm moving up. If I become undisputed, why should I go after number 2, 3, 4? I want a title shot. Give me a title shot straight away. And Keith Thurman, he's supposed to be the #1 guy there. Put me in there with him. Keith Thurman, oh, but Terrence Crawford he got to become relevant. Shout out to Julio Palayo, $5 Shmoney Gang. Appreciate the super chat. And see, Keith Thurman tries to do, how do I explain it? See, for me, I'm street smart and book smart. Like, I used to be in the honor roll. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, I'm just being real. But I also have street smart. Like, you have, in the Bay, you have to have street smarts to know how to navigate certain places. North Richmond, Oakland, San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? You have to know, you have to be wise and street smart. Otherwise, you won't make it out here. Not like, I'm not trying to say, make it like it's Iraq or something, but there's some spots you won't make it, you know what I mean? Even places like Modesto, Stockton, you know what I'm saying? You won't make it in those areas if you're not acting accordingly. But I see what Keith Thurman, what he tries to do is, I could tell he reads like literature, like plays a flute. So he tries to sound like, how you say it? Just like The Art of War, Sun Tzu-ish, you know what I mean? Like real strategic. Like Crawford is from the hood. He had a bullet shot into his head and all this shit. Crawford just told, why should I fight number 2, 3, or 4?
That's a good word. Enlightened. Yeah, that's how he tries to. He'd be like, hey, do you want to fight Terrence Crawford? It's just a straight up question. Thurman, do you want to fight Terrence Crawford? He called you out. Now, you see, Crawford, he's coming from the core. And the core essential, like, what are you talking about? Like, do you want to fight him? That's what people, this is boxing. It doesn't have to be, like, esoteric and Sun Tzu and stuff like that. Crawford, he's just discovering Undisputed. And it was like an out-of-body experience when he beat Julius Ndongo. You see, me, I've climbed. Like, what are you talking? It's either you want to fight him or not. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter about the, you know what I mean, the shimmering sea and the mountaintops. You got to be a mountain, the mountain core, like Mount Everest. Like, he's like trying to be smart. And this boxing, you don't even have to be smart. Maidana was in gangs, throwing up gangs and shit. Like, you don't have to be smart in boxing. It's like either you want to fight the man or you don't. And you don't have to be all philosophical at all points and stuff. Like, everything's not the art of war. You know what I'm saying? Like, Keith Thurman just seems like he wants to be on some like Zen master stuff all the time. Like, Crawford just said straight up how he felt. He said, Crawford said, why should I fight 2, 3, or 4? Blah, blah, blah. I want to fight him. He's supposed to be the best. You know what I mean? But Thurman would be like, if your mind is purified in the waters of Lake Minnetonka, then I could understand why Crawford and Errol Spence, they want to fight me. But I just got married. Like, no one cares about none of that. Like, it doesn't, none of that matters. They want to know if you want to fight the man. And that's the cold, sad reality. But I don't agree with that. Like, you can't make it like like Crawford just ain't relevant. You know what I mean? Because guys like Andre Ward, before he even fought at light heavyweight, he was still relevant. You know what I mean? So when he moved up and fought Sullivan Barrera, he was the favorite based on what he did at 168 and who he was as a fighter. So I think the same thing for Crawford. Yeah, he doesn't have a fight yet, but most people would predict him to do well. So that's just my thoughts. I think Keith Thurman, his demeanor and his energy has changed when it comes to, like, he can't get the straight answer. Like, it's weird because that's never how I've known Keith Thurman to react. Before, he was more Brad, like, you know what they say, I got an O, I'm not afraid to let it go. And you know what I'm saying? He was more just like in your face with some eloquent philosophical stuff too. But now it's all about, like, now Porter, even though I beat him, that's a fight. He's calling, okay, Errol Spence is calling you out, and he has a belt. So why would you be pursuant to a guy that doesn't have a belt because he's a mandatory? But it's the game is getting so weird. The game is getting like people act like unifications are smaller than mandatories. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? How is a unification a smaller deal than fighting your mandatory? Why would you ever say, like, you know what I mean? Like, Joshua even said something like that. Like, I want to fight my mandatories. What? Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder seem to want to fight you in a unification, which would be bigger blockbuster fights. And you talking about unification? You would rather fight a unification? It's crazy, man. I mean, you'd rather fight a mandatory over a unification. Worst part about boxing is this, like, for the fighters, is like it seems like the guys that are the biggest threats, you always have the other fighter downplay the person more than they give him props. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman could be like, man, Terrence, he's giving Crawford some credit, but the way he's also like, it's like a double negative. It's like, oh, Crawford's a tremendous fighter, but he's irrelevant. You know what I mean? So it kind of takes away from the credit. You know what I mean? Instead of just being like, man, Crawford's a bad boy. We'll see. Make the fight. That's how I feel. It's like fighters don't want to, like, it's like the pride gets to them, so they can't just be honest and just be like, that's my biggest threat. I could beat him, but that dude's a big threat. I like his style. I like his demeanor. It's always some, oh, Crawford's not relevant. It's not the same. You can't just gain 7 pounds at your belt line and think you're a welterweight. You know, I don't believe that. Because Crawford ain't talking like he's just gaining 7 pounds just to be gaining 7 pounds. He sound like he hungry for that action. Yo, we got to get the, I've been going on live for a while. Make sure y'all hit the like buttons. Yeah, someone said the belt gave him too much ego. I agree with that. Can we make sure you guys hit the like button? We should really be over 200 by now. Be over 200 likes. But see, and that's the thing that bothers me too with how Keith Thurman's kind of been recently, is because of this. Is it's like everybody keeps using Mayweather as the catalyst, but you haven't done what Mayweather has done. You until you do what Mayweather's done, then you can't move like him. You know what I'm saying? You're not like, you're still a capo. You're not the boss yet. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to work your underboss, become a capo. You know what I mean? First you're a henchman, the underboss, capo. You got to move your way up through the mafia, the hierarchy system. You know what I mean? And it's like everybody wants to skip. They do a couple cool things, and it's like they want to skip to, I'm Money Mayweather. He's retired. I'm the new Money Mayweather. Because the way Keith Thurman has been, to me, the way he's been talking lately is he's saying stuff like, I'm the guy with 2 belts. I see why everyone wants to fight me. This, that, and the third. And I decide when I should get the fight. Like, what? He's just making it sound like he's Money Mayweather or something, but he's not. In terms of accomplishments. Yeah, man. Errol Spence, to me, beats Keith Thurman. That body work is vicious. And he had that Collazo incident. Even though he didn't go down, he showed a lot of heart. Collazo's a southpaw. But guess who else is a southpaw? Errol Spence. And I would say Spence is more dedication to the body. He's fresher than Collazo. Collazo, he been through wars. You know what I mean? Ricky Hatton, Berto, Shane Mosley, Victor Ortiz. So... that's just my thoughts, man. Man, we struggling to get 200 likes. We just stopped. The likes have stopped. Spence has longer reach than Collazo. Crawford beat the shit out of Postal. Yo, listen. Another thing, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Shout out to the fucking UFC. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Shout out to the UFC. And you guys know, let me say this quick disclaimer. Y'all know boxing is my first love before UFC. I'm not bashing UFC. I have no problem with UFC. But fucking shout out to the UFC. I'm gonna explain why. Y'all want me to tell you why I'm giving props to the UFC? If y'all want me to tell y'all, can I get a hell yeah? I need some hell yeahs to motivate me. Ego Best Media Channel, thank you. Now, this is why I'm giving props to the UFC. I just seen a few hours ago, UFC heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou, right? Now, if you don't know much about UFC, maybe you'll know this much, because the fight just happened. UFC 218, I think it was the same night as Cotto versus Ali, right? And Francis Ngannou knocked out Alistair Overeem with a vicious, I think it was a left uppercut, yak, and then Overeem's head, vicious ass knockout, right? And it went viral. Everyone's talking about it, making memes and stuff. Alistair Overeem, a big dude himself, a veteran, he got stretched with that punch. And literally days later, they have the best heavyweight fight that with a champion and a guy who deserves a title shot based on that performance. That was Francis Ngannou's. That was his step up. That was his I'm fighting a name. Let's see what we could do. And if you go to UFC channels, there were some people picking Alistair Overeem. They're saying, oh, who's Ngannou beat? And Alistair Overeem's going to knee his head off and all that stuff. That was a great win for him. And Dana White or whoever said, the winner of this fight is getting a title shot. Literally days later, we're not even it's not even a full week later. It's halfway in the week, Wednesday. And they already announced that they're going to fight January 20th in Boston. And it sucks because I think that's the same day as Errol Spence Jr. versus Lamont Peterson. Because literally, I've never went to a UFC fight, but I would try to go to that one. Because that's a good-ass fight. But if it's on the same night as boxing, then I probably won't. But anyway, that's what I'm giving props to UFC for. Because that fight, Francis Ngannou just beat Alistair Overeem. And within days, and it's not even just about making the fight, it's the fighters took the fight. You know what I mean? Stipe could have been like, oh shit, that was a crazy knockout. I want a 69% split. I want 70. And they could have been arguing about this and that, but these motherfuckers just somehow agreed to it, and it looks like that's happening next January 20th. If all goes well, no injuries and shit like that. I give that props. Because imagine if boxing was fucking like that, where Crawford's undisputed and he moves up, and then like the Keith Thurman fight is easily made, Errol Spence fight's easily made, Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence is easily made, right? Joshua Wilder, they're both coming off knockout performances that just gets made. Literally days after, like let's say Wilder knocked out Stavern, and then 3 days later, Joshua Wilder was made. Crazy. You know what I mean? Boxing fans would be so ecstatic because you have the momentum. It's like, damn, I still remember the Stavern knockout. And days later, they announced that Joshua Wilder's happened. I mean, that would be great for boxing. And you can't just say it's because the UFC is an organization in control of all the fighters, because Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, they're with the same organization. They're with PBC. They both managed by Al Heyman, but they're not fighting each other. And we don't know when they're fighting each other. Yeah, Overeem got rocked. That shit was crazy. But shout out to the UFC. You know what I mean? Conor McGregor, he was moving to lightweight. Ready for his fight. Eddie Alvarez. Late replacement Nate Diaz beats him. Immediate rematch. So I give props for that shit. You know what I mean? Cyborg versus Holly Holm. I mean, these are the fights that people wanted to see, and they're getting them. And they're getting them quick. But that Stipe Ngannou, that's a good fight. Stipe used to box. I think he was a silver or golden gloves boxer in his teenage years or some shit. And then Ngannou got crazy power. I just seen an interview with Rumble Johnson. He says, I ain't never been hit as hard as Francis Ngannou hit me in sparring or some shit. Michael Bisping was mentioning Ngannou Joshua. Bisping needs to sit down. He's tripping because he fought GSP, lost, and then fought 3 weeks later and got knocked out in the first round. So that was stupid. I mean, why would you even do that? Especially, it'd be one thing if you beat GSP and then you thought you was ready for that work with Kelvin, but that's stupid. You just took two back-to-back losses in a month. Like that's dumb. And see, people are, I don't know. I understand getting paid and paychecks and shit, but whatever he got to fight GSP, I'm sure was a pretty penny. I don't think he had to. Like he was gonna get evicted if he didn't fight Gastelum in 3 weeks. So that was just greed, and then he ended up getting knocked out fast. Your body needs time to heal. You know what I mean? Like even like let's say Errol Spence versus Kell Brook. Errol Spence won the fight, but he shouldn't fight 3 weeks later. It reminds me in boxing, another person who did that, which was super stupid, Robert the Ghost Guerrero. He fought against Keith Thurman, barely survived to go 12, got lumped up, and immediately came back very quickly and fought Aaron Martinez, who's not even a big puncher. I think he had 4 knockouts, and he damn near got knocked out by Aaron Martinez. He was like out on his feet and shit. You don't come back that fast, especially if you lost bad. That Overeem KO was vicious. Yeah, I'd rather see Ngannou versus Wilder if we're doing a crossover fight than Joshua, but that shit ain't gonna happen. But props to UFC for making it. I mean, that's quick. It's expedient. You know what I mean? Like Ngannou, people are still talking about the knockout, and they're already talking about him getting the title shot. And also that has to feel good for the fighter. Ngannou's like, man, I'm still high off of the adrenaline of knocking out Alistair Overeem, and within a week, I know I got a title shot the turn of the year. So that has to be rewarding for the fighter. John Jones is done. Like, he keeps failing drug tests and shit. So I'm not really. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I seen Dewey Cooper in the ring. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, in the cage, I'm sorry. I seen him after the fight. I seen him. Ngannou versus Cain Velasquez. Cain will get knocked out, in my opinion. It's a good fight, though. But I think Stipe is a harder fight. Because he's more, he's just tough. He's more composure. Better, probably, overall boxing. I'm picking Rigondeaux. People keep asking me. I'm not, see, like, for me, predictions could be hard and stuff like that, but I don't like to bounce around and keep switching and stuff, so we rock with Rigondeaux. Yo, if we can't get past 200 likes, it just keeps stalling at, like, you guys are forgetting to hit the like button, man. But, yeah, I'm picking Rigondeaux. I have my reasons for it. Teddy Atlas is not on the telecast. I don't know the reasons. He still works with ESPN. They made that clear. But they're not fucking with him for this. I think what happened in Fresno, they had that card with Better Biev when he got the title, and Jose Ramirez, and Mike and Dee Reed or whatever, and Teddy Atlas was him and the dude, what's the Mark Krieger or whoever, who did they get to work on ESPN? Somebody, they got somebody new, and anyway, they were arguing back and forth. Plus, I think Teddy Atlas has showed a lot of bias towards Lomachenko, so they probably felt it was best to not have him on this particular telecast. So that's that. But I'm picking Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux, he looks in shape, man. And see, like, here. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I did an Ego Weight Watcher video. Look at that dude. Rigondeaux look kind of diesel. Hey, look at Rigondeaux, his little forearm with the vein. Hey, Rigondeaux look kind of diesel, pause. Hey, fuck that. Rigondeaux look kind of diesel. But listen, I noticed I'm pretty good with puzzles and stuff, and I study patterns and shit like that. And you know what I noticed when it comes to Rigondeaux and Lomachenko predictions? And trust me, the Ego Fight Club's coming out soon. Boxing Ego Fight Club. I want you to hit me as hard. So make sure you guys tune into that. Drop your fight predictions. That'll be out by tomorrow. But check this pattern that I noticed. I noticed the people, when it comes to their Rigondeaux Lomachenko predictions, when the people who are picking Rigondeaux, and this could just be the people I've surveyed or from what I've seen on my multiple successful platforms, Instagram and my page and whatever.
Pyro Amon, $5 super chat. Gang shmoney. He said, I love Rigo versus Loma, so I'm good either way. Yeah, it's a good fight. It's that type of fight. Shout out to you for the comment and the super chat. We working. But this is what I noticed with the with that particular fight. With that particular fight, I noticed that, and like I said, it could be just the people I've seen, but the people who are picking Rigondeaux, a lot of them that I've seen, they're telling me technically what Rigondeaux is gonna do to beat Lomachenko. Like, oh, he got that sniper left, or his foot movement, better defense, things of that sort, right? But a lot of the people that I've seen that are picking Lomachenko, they keep saying the same thing. And the thing that they're saying is Lomachenko's just too big. It's too much weight. It's too big. And to me, that's not strong enough. You know what I mean? Like, there is a chance that Lomachenko is too big. But to me, that's not too big is like a natural deficit he would have to overcome, more so than a technical or like a skillful deficit that he has to overcome. You know what I mean? And that's what I keep seeing from Lomachenko. Everyone keeps saying Loma's just too big. He's too big for Rigondeaux because everyone knows Rigondeaux's moving up. But I don't really see people saying that Lomachenko has way more skill, way more speed, way more accuracy. They're not saying those types of things. Way better defense. It's most people that I've seen that have picked Lomachenko, they keep saying, oh, I just don't see Rigondeaux's too small. Loma's too big. That's all I'm really seeing from the Lomachenko side. And to me, that should be a cause of concern, because what if the size doesn't seem to be bothering Rigondeaux? You know what I'm saying? Then it's gonna come down to skill and like style and technique and accuracy and game planning. So that's just how I see it. I'm rocking with Rigondeaux. So should be a good fight though. And see, part of, like I said, Lomachenko's style is to be aggressive, and he got marked up versus Mariaga. Rigondeaux, you don't want to get marked up by him. And Rigondeaux is a lot more gutsy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he's been knocked down, he gets up and fights harder and stuff like that. But yo, I'm gonna call it a stream. I've been on for long enough. I need to refill my water. My voice is kind of hoarse. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. I'll be back tomorrow with the Fight Club. Holla at the kid. Peace out.